So
But what people are looking at is so he has your name represents you for buying that one PHM share, but then does that include anything thereafter if it's under your name?
no,
You know what I
so
Yeah.
mean?
so it states clearly on that contract that it's one PHM share that will be
It
DRS
states that you will be buying one share.
and DRSing it.
Yeah, this isn't so bad if it's just he speaks for your one share.
He speaks
But
for your
how's
one.
that
He,
possible?
he
How's that
speaks. Well,
possible?
well, first of all, I only own one share, so
No, exactly. If everybody just buys the one share, then it's nothing. It's moot.
and
It's like
and
good
and
luck getting on the board with 200 shares. You know what I mean?
right.
But if people want to put all their money into it, um, with their gains and stuff, then all of a sudden you have 100 million shares instead of 200.
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, like that's the part that I don't understand because people would either want that contract redacted or they would choose not to buy PHM, which kind of defeats what should be the goal of um, the intent, right? So
The only other thought with that is hypothetically, what if people that signed that were, hypothetically gifted a large amount of shares by somebody and had an additional agreement to hold those shares for X amount of time, DRS? Would that give all those shares? Say somebody gave you 20,000 shares, but said you have to hold them for 20 years. Then that would correlate with this contract, and that would give Kai's all that voting power. Is there some thought there?
I think it
Some
would apply
future
to
business
gifted.
dealings that could yield, donated or gifted or earned shares that someone didn't necessarily say, I got this windfall, I'm going to invest it.
What
I
if
don't know.
PHM merges with BBBYQ?
yeah, I think the odds of that are happening would be like going outside and getting struck by lightning 3 times in a row.
Yeah,
So.
but you know
I
what?
I do bet, would this apply to any share given, purchase, gifted, whatever, moving forward? Because I don't know of a way where like I can hop on my email when it's voting time and vote.
Uh,
Let's say I buy 19,999 shares, and I'm
no.
gonna I can't I can't vote and then like say, oh hey, by the way, here's this proxy vote I give away for my one share.
This is
Like,
only pertaining to one share.
well, how
Uh,
would he be able to vote on my behalf
yeah, so
if
so a
I
couple
if I
things.
purchase shares afterwards?
This looks like it has been written by an attorney, but I'm gonna be real with you. This is not enforceable.
So there was an
Why?
attorney. There was an attorney at the event that signed it, and I spoke with her, and and she said she said this would never hold up in court. She
This would
said,
never hold up in
yeah,
court.
her exact words were, "This would never hold up in court," and my exact words were to her, "Do you know the witness is not even a U.S. citizen?" And she started laughing and said, "No, I didn't know that, but yeah, this would never hold up in court." And I said, "But I'm fine with it. Like I knew exactly I personally knew exactly what I was getting myself into, and I was fine with it
This is
because
not.
yeah."
That's not.
So
It
if
gets
you look at
ties
the
in the door.
title, if you look at
Okay.
the title, shareholder proxy agreement, right? With proxy agreements, there's a standard language. None of this follows the standard language, so it's a very bullshit contract. It does seem like it is written by an attorney. It seems like it's governed by the laws state of Michigan without regard to the conflicts and
Could it be
principles.
written?
Okay,
Could it be written
Okay.
by a law student that hasn't passed the bar yet? Possibly.
it's
Look,
possible. I know
Michigan
who you're
law.
talking
If you don't buy your shares for a couple
about.
months, you might be able to pocket
Controlled
20 grand.
chaos, you dog.
Well, I mean,
No, I know what you're talking about. I know.
It's Kai's contract, and his wife is a law student who hasn't passed the bar yet. So, like, I mean, honestly, like,
Man, this is.
I ran all my papers through my wife. I run them through Grammarly, and I ran them through
Listen,
my
anybody
wife as
who,
well.
anyone who has an issue with this, the court will immediately throw this shit out. Okay, this is a very piece of shit contract. Personally, I think they did this because of tinfoil. Okay, it's like kind of Larry Chang gave cash, right? That $100 Grove
Mhm.
gift card for cleaning products that no one's ever going to use. And then I would never use those. Okay, I only use Clorox. I love that shit. I love chemicals in my house. All right, I can't deal with it. Mrs. Myers, you couldn't get me to buy Mrs. Myers soap. Anyway,
Is it because you
Hey,
drink? Is it
Chaos.
because you drink bleach because Trump told you to drink it?
Chaos. How did
I love
how
that
did
man
why did she say that it was not enforceable?
Because it's not enforceable.
because
Michigan
it's literally
contract.
not enforceable. The
She read,
20-year
yeah.
term, that shit doesn't make any sense. You can't hold a share for 20. Every
She
single,
read
so it's one,
it.
two, three, four, five, six, right?
It's not
If
that
you
long
look
of
at,
a contract. It's not that long of a contract. She read it before she signed it. She signed it. We talked after she got off stage, and we were just laughing about it. But like, I knew exactly what I was doing. I'm fine with it. And personally, I personally don't own any more shares than the one share, and I didn't even DRS it yet. I just haven't got around to it, but I'm gonna. And I'm okay with it. Like, my sister who didn't sign owns shares of PHM, and she's done well with it. But like someone said earlier, like you can't do nothing against my sister because I signed a piece of paper. So,
And by the way, it wasn't even enough money for one share because at that time the share
well, I
price
mean
was like
that day
103.
it was like $3.86
Yep.
high of one share. So,
It was
Hey, Andrew, can you
That would make it a
hey,
fractional. Yeah,
one
go
second?
ahead,
yeah,
Squeezes.
Can
exactly.
you see Hulk in the space at all, or
I,
requesting? He's basically calling us retards, and he's like calling
what?
me an asshole, and like I'm laughing at you
Where is
guys.
he?
I
I
don't
don't
fucking
have
know.
him
I can't see
blocked.
him in here. I don't see him
I
in
don't
here.
see
I
him
don't
in
see him
here either.
requesting, but he's in
Hulkster,
my DMs telling me how funny this is, and
Hulkster is like
that's fine. But
He's in
fucking
there.
come up and talk,
He's
and if
laughing.
not, maybe
Well, he can
Yeah, I don't see
I
him
don't
either.
request.
see. I don't
on
see a
my screen.
request. I don't
Yeah,
see
he's
him
I
in
not.
don't.
space.
I don't either,
I just
man.
want to I just want him if he's here to fucking hear that
Well,
from me.
he can hear
He's
it out
here.
of my
He's
mouth.
here and he's
also,
laughing.
wait, guys, can we just wait?
Oh,
Can I,
he's
can
in
I just
here.
mention something? The
I'm
other thing is
looking.
generally when it comes to delegation of shareholder rights, it often
I'll
goes to a
send him the
trustee
link.
and not necessarily just to an individual like Kais. Okay, this is a very strange contract. I don't think it would be upheld in court. Personally, I think they were just doing this as a symbolic thing that, hey, we're giving you this $100 cash certificate to Grove or whatever the shop is called, and then equity as well in PHM. Do you get what I mean? So it's like cash and equity. I think it's just a tinfoil move. Kind of like the Diet Pepsi thing or that what's that stupid ice cream truck thing. It's the same shit. But
It
this
gets
contract in and of itself, no court is going to uphold this shit. I
no,
read it.
it gets
It's
Kais to the
probably written
meeting
by an
room.
attorney, but it's bullshit.
It gets Kais to the meeting room and a microphone in front of him. That's it.
That's also not great. That's not awesome.
If that's what Bill wanted, that's what Bill
Well,
wanted.
I don't know if he did. Did he?
Well, it seems like it because I mean, who paid
It definitely
guys
seems like
to
it. His
then
name was on the
distribute?
microphone.
Also, the fact that you're giving cash to then allocate it to purchase a share that could be considered solicitation of securities. I don't know if that's really allowed. Okay, this
In
this is one of the.
5
Sorry.
hours, 5 hours into a drinking event.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, easily somebody could argue that. Um, that was one of the things I saw on the show. The moment that happened, I thought, "Holy fuck! Like, what the fuck are they guys? What the fuck are these guys doing?" Um, it's
I
totally
would say
unenforceable.
just so people know, in my opinion, there was at maximum 4 people in the entire room that knew that was going to happen. Obviously, 2 of them being Kais and Jake. And I will say I was not one, and I don't like to speak on other people's behalf, but PP didn't know that was going to happen until it happened, and he definitely took the high road on that one.
It's definitely odd. I would
But on the
I
on
wouldn't
the on the flip side, right? Because I always play devil's advocate, and I always give it to
sure.
people straight, and I say it from both sides. What's the difference between no one knew Larry Chang was going to give $100 gift card either. So if you think about it, right, Larry Chang came on for 15, 20 minutes and said,
Sure.
hey, you guys are a great community. I want to give you $100 into my gift card to my company.
Perfect.
It's just not a
What was that?
security.
It's
So
not a
that
solicitation for
just hear me,
security.
but just hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay,
So
okay,
that's
okay.
that's 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 him plugging his company, right?
Sure.
So then someone else comes on, whether regardless of who paid for it, whether it was the $500 from the tickets or Polte's money or Kaiser's money, but let's hold people on their merit. And Kai said it was his money on several occasions. I'm giving you this money for you to buy the share. So okay, well, what can you do with the $100 gift card? You have to use it at Larry Chang's location, or you choose to not use it. What do you do
Still
with
not a
the other
security.
$100? You could have walked out, fucking bought drinks at the tiki bar, and never even bought the stock or DRS'd it. And it's like,
Sure.
there's so I always look at it from both angles. So like, and then you look at it for anyone who paid $500, right? So you got free ice cream, free food, free beer, free water, $100 from Larry Chang, $100 from Kai's, and you got to meet a lot of people in the community. So you get your money's worth. And not to mention the bracelet, the keychain, the lanyard, some stickers, a T-shirt, right? So like, no one can come out of that event and say, "Oh my God, I wasted $500." Like, regardless if it wasn't everything you expected, you got something out of it.
Yeah, and to add, that the gift it was the $100 like gift card and a free starter kit. So it was like $100 and a gift, kind of like cash and equity from Larry, I guess. Did anyone else not get the? Because I got the starter kit, like the
I never
general
even
cleaning
opened. I
one.
never even opened the email.
What's the starter
Yeah.
kit? What was in it?
It has some like cleaning concentrates that you like put it in, like then it comes with these glass spray bottles that
Oh,
are really
what the
nice.
hell?
And
Glass spray bottles. Oh, fuck. I should have been there.
yeah,
Some,
well,
some
yeah, and
Tahitian
they, with
tricks.
with the rubber bottom, with the rubber bottom.
Oh, fuck. No, I mean, listen. The solicitation of securities is very odd. Okay, now technically, legally, you could designate your vote to a proxy. This is allowed, but it's almost always done to like a trustee. It's never done generally to like Kais. Do you get what I mean? So it is legal, but it's very odd. Probably, I mean, this attorney was correct that was speaking to Controlled Chaos. This would never be held up in court. There's no
Oh,
fucking way.
look who it is.
Yeah, I just want to. I always say, look at it from both angles. So like, what nobody, like, that's the thing, is like a lot of people have a problem with this, right? Like most of the people that have a problem with it weren't there, but it's like not one person has come and said, "What a fucking grifter, what a loser Larry Chang is. I can't believe he came on the show and took that opportunity to mention his company and give someone $100 gift card." It's the same exact thing almost.
Did
It's
you
like,
sign anything for the gift card?
I didn't sign anything for the gift card, but like it was a gift. Like, once again, like
Right,
I
there's a
read the
difference.
contract. Well, I read
Yeah.
the contract. I took a picture of the contract. The contract, to me, there was no risk on my end by doing it, and I like Polte, I like Kai's, and honestly, I like the stock. If you guys trace back the stock to when Bill started coming on the show and not really talking about it, but just coming on the show and who he was and what his family name was, it's up
50%.
70%. It's up 70% since he came on into the scene 9 months ago. It really is. If you do the research, it is.
Well, that's
Ooh, hot mic, Neon.
I'm sorry,
Ida.
my ex.
Oh, what's going
I just
on?
hear she's training our dog right now while I'm trying to make a point. But I'll
Oh,
just
that
go
was
Are
the
you
silent.
the
caller.
dog?
Oh, that's the
This time.
dog?
Do you have a rubber suit on?
Are you rubber pup? Are you gonna be
He
about to
is
say
rubber
that?
pump.
No,
What
I'm
about
Yeah.
Say, are you
Neon?
with rubber
I'm
Are
pup?
raw
you
dog.
Rubber Pup?
You
Does
call
that
me raw
turtleneck
dog.
come up over your head? Cover your eyes?
I'm a raw
I,
dog.
I just sent Kais an invite to speak. Can we have somebody drop? I'd like to hear from him personally. I'm just going to drop.
I think we have an extra spot.
Oh,
Don't we?
okay.
Yeah.
The
Well,
space is glitching.
Somebody
But
just dropped.
yeah.
okay,
Well, I'm not
Kais.
holding anyone hostage, just so you know, Neon.
Yeah, Kais. I'd love to
I was
hear.
kidding
I'd
with
love
you.
to hear. Come on up. I don't know, Andrew. Send him an invite. I've sent like 6 already. So
Yeah, it was.
maybe I'm.
I was seeing all your invites when you kept sending to me, but it wouldn't let me accept them. It's either a glitch or you were full. I don't know which one. That's why I was DMing you.
Okay.
He was just ignoring you.
Well, I kind of knew that was always an option too, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so
Well,
I'm
Hulk seems
supposed
to think
to.
I was ignoring him too, but there's a
Dude,
lot
I
of
don't
people
even see
DMing me saying they
Hulk
can't
in
come.
here. What do I have to do? Like,
No. Hulk said he
I see
started a
Kais.
space of his own.
I'll invite Kais to
It says
speak.
shows him as a listener.
Oh
Yeah,
well, he's
I just
DM'd me and
invited
said he started his own deal.
Why?
who
Because he
Hulk?
couldn't come up?
I don't know. I don't even
I
see his space.
Dude, it's not like I looked. freaking search through the people?
He's here. He's here in the. I see him.
I see
Hawkster?
him in the
well,
chat. Yeah.
he fucking told me he started his own space and he's streaming it, and they're
Tell him to
talking about.
drop out and jump back in because I do not see him.
He's
He's in
laughing.
Yeah,
here.
dude,
He's
Kais
laughing.
is in here too.
I did, and he laughed at me.
No.
I don't fucking know. I'd like to hear people that were actually at the event come up and
Well, I
talk about
invited
this.
Kais up, and he
And
didn't.
Michael's here. Let's get Michael up. He was there. I've sent Kais invites. Andrew, why don't you drop me down? I'm going to come back up as drop me down. I'm going to come back in and then co-host me again and see if that fixes
Here
it.
we go. We got a
still
request.
here? I haven't heard
We got a
Patient.
request. Tendy was okay. Here's Tendy. I don't know what's going on. All they have to do is request. Look, I just got her up.
All right, I don't fucking know. Fendi.
Queenies.
Is Patient Sage participating at all?
Yeah, maybe drop him as co-host
there we go.
and give it to Chad or something like that.
I mean, that's fine. I just added Whistler.
I haven't heard him.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, hello.
we
Hey,
go.
how are you? I still don't see him in
Good
the
job,
space.
Co.
But what's up, Hulk? You're here.
I'm just laughing at y'all. This is fucking awesome.
Well, why? So I've got a question. Why are you laughing at us? We're just trying to, like everything else, we're trying to dig, and so you have a different perspective. So give us the perspective.
Yeah, I was there, and maybe the stream cut out whenever Kaz was announcing it, or maybe people didn't watch the stream. But everybody knows exactly what was said and why we were signing it. We want Kaz in there to represent us on the board. You can give me thumbs down, Neon, but that's why I signed it. I want Kaz in there.
Well, that it's your individual right, and I got no issue.
I guess
with
my
that,
question is, the people that didn't sign, did y'all get a Grove gift card?
It's just one thing is to share, and another is a gift card.
Did you get the gift card?
Compare this. I haven't accepted it. No.
Yeah, there's a reason.
What's the
I don't
reason?
understand what the reason.
Exactly.
Is.
Yeah, you're getting
said he
upset,
didn't
but I don't think
accept
everyone's just trying to get to the bottom of stuff, Hulk.
Yeah,
I'm chill, man.
we're just being civil.
Yeah,
y'all fucking with me
you're
the
coming
way
in
y'all
kind of
fuck with
hot.
Michael. I'm not mad right now.
No, you just seem
No,
you seem a
No,
little
you
hot.
actually seem angry. Michael never actually seems angry. That's why it's funny.
He's
Is this Michael's
sometimes
ult?
angry.
Is this Michael's ult?
Hulk, so
And
you
you're turning
do seem
green.
kind of
green.
upset.
I'm
What?
that. So for what it's worth, I'm got tears in my eyes. I've been crying so hard. This is so funny.
Well, you say it's funny, but then you come off kind of angry, so I'm kind of confused.
I'm sorry for being angry, guys.
Okay, so I don't care. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. So Neon seems to have a different perspective. Neon, were you there?
Idolu, shut up. I was at the event. Yes.
Okay, so when Hulk, you say everyone that was there has this certain perspective. Neon, does that perspective agree with yours?
I was a little tipsy, and I did not hear any of that information. And I was
okay.
Yeah,
fair.
Yeah.
What's a little tipsy? Like 3
it
beers,
was Coors
4
Light.
beers.
It was like 9 Coors Lights.
He was so drunk that I
Wow.
hollered at him, and he did not even blink.
Damn. Must have been a full party.
I can hold myself together, but I did not hear what was going on. But that was probably my own fault.
I said, "Hey, Neon," and you just kept walking right by me. I know you were wasted, dude. I mean, it's.
I was looking for you.
So can whoever said, I think it was either Neon or Hulkster, clarify what you mean by there's a reason for that when they said I haven't accepted the gift card? Can you clarify that?
I didn't accept the
gift
card.
for some reason, everybody that didn't sign for the Pulte Home Share, none of them got the gift card. So I was thinking
I haven't checked.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate.
I haven't checked.
Did Skywalker get the gift card?
Yeah, the gift card was you didn't have to create an account. You just went on the site, and when you typed your email address in, it was just there. It wasn't even it was the weirdest thing for a retail site how that worked with the $100. But yeah, it was just there when you put your email address that everyone threw in the chat that day.
So there was a separate chat, it's called the VIPPs chat.
Yeah.
And everybody gave their email address, and Rachel, which is Polpe's assistant, collected
Yeah,
those email addresses and she forwarded them to Larry Chang. Larry Chang had someone load those into his database, and as
exactly.
long as you use that same email, and in some cases that email went out to people, and in some cases it didn't. But if you went into there and used that, like you said, you got the discount. I never.
I
Like,
didn't get shit.
I never chose to dig into it because like I never even heard of the product before that night. To be
No, it's
honest,
also
Mine
weird
went
ass
to
product.
spam, so you
I
guys
didn't get
might want to
shit.
Chad,
check
just
your
answer my
spam.
question.
Wait, so Hulk, did you mean to say that there's a reason for the people that didn't get a gift card, as in
Yeah,
you had
I,
to
I think
sign
I think only
the
the ones
form to
that
get the gift card?
I think only the ones that actually got the $100 actually got the gift cards as
All right,
well.
that's not accurate.
I will look in my spam and I will check.
I
Who
got the
said that's
$100.
not accurate?
No, the only
I don't
ones
know
that
who
got
said
the
it, but
gift card,
I
me,
second that it's not
Skywalker.
accurate. I second that it's not accurate
It's
because
not.
someone who
Yeah,
didn't sign that I know got the gift card.
yeah. Anyone who sent their email in the VIPP chat got the gift
Wait,
card.
wait. You said the opposite of what I said. I just want to clarify. I said the ones that signed got the gift card.
I'm saying anyone who sent their email in the VIPP chat got the gift card. Had nothing to do with signing the paper with Kai's.
And I
I
agree with
may have
that.
left that chat too early then.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You didn't get
Hulk, you
cleaning?
seem to think that it's a requirement that you signed the form to get the gift card, but other people are saying that's not the case.
I've
Is
yet
that,
to speak to anybody that only got the gift cards. What I'm saying.
but Controlled Chaos, your friend, is one of those people you can verify?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I can
So
verify the only way people got the gift card is by providing their email proactively in the VIPP chat,
So
which
what
happened
happened is
days later.
many people left the chat before it was. Remember this was on
This
like a
is true
Thursday
too.
night, right? And it wasn't hashed out till like Monday or Tuesday how Larry Chang was going to get that information. A lot of people had left the chat in the meantime. Then what happened is people were submitting emails on their behalf, and then there were people coming back into the chat and submitting emails. So I would say out of the 250 people that were at the event, probably 175 emails were collected. That's just a guess. Did all
Probably not even.
250 people?
I misread the room then. I misunderstood what had happened. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad.
No, you're
yeah,
good.
I've
Like,
gotten
you're good,
a
Hulk.
DM also from someone who says they didn't sign the form, but they did receive the gift card as well.
They were two separate things, days apart.
it
Oh,
was the
I thought they
logistics
were.
of it. I'm a logistics guy, and it's like so when stuff isn't done perfectly like that, that makes me cringe. So it was just kind of like lost in translation. It was no ill intent or anything like that. It just wasn't very. No one knew Larry was gonna do it, just like no one knew Kai's was gonna do it. When I say no one, like obviously like a few people knew Kai's was gonna do it, but as far as the Larry Chang thing, maybe Bill knew, but other than that, nobody knew that was gonna happen. So it was kind of like now you're reactive instead of proactive. It's like, okay, well, how are we gonna figure this out? Because Hulkster, it's kind of hard to give Hulkster a gift card, right? You know what I mean? He's like, it's a fucking made up name. So and PP intentionally, there's only three people who had like three people, me, Rachel, and PP that had access to the list of names that were usernames and real names. And I shredded mine as soon as that night in the office after I was done checking people in because I respect people's privacy.
Okay, hey guys, I'm gonna step down, go to sleep, maybe even listen a little bit longer. Let Michael up.
Yeah, man. No worries, dude. I appreciate your
Hey,
help.
Hulk, when
Hey
you
guys,
said there's
I
a
just
reason for
wanted
that,
to
did you
say
think is
Call
that
me.
because you thought they had to happen in conjunction with each other? Okay.
Yes.
Oh shit, Chad, I fucked up. Hold on. Michael,
me.
hold on.
Just
I
booted
didn't
me.
mean to. Hold on.
hey Squeeze,
Yeah.
Fucked up.
I'm no
you
longer
were
in the space
asking.
now.
The reason I
Thanks.
came up, you were
No.
asking if people read the contract before they signed it. I did not. Um, I also missed what was going on because I had to use the bathroom, so I had to stand in line forever
Yeah,
to
so
go.
that's what I'm trying to figure out is Hulk has the
Yeah,
impression that everyone there was like 100% understanding what they were signing, and it's silly for everyone else outside of the that was there to think that something else
no,
happened.
tonight was the first I've
Well,
heard of
that's not what he
this.
said.
No, but I thought that's what
We had so many gummies in us that
that is
night.
what
I
he
don't
said. He
remember
said
nothing.
everybody that
Shit
was
was
there
awesome.
had a full
He said
understanding.
we want
Yeah, if you were
him to
there, then
represent us.
you heard what they said, then you knew why. And even when you walked up there to do it, Kais and Jake was explaining it.
But see, so Tendi has a different. That's what I'm trying to get
No,
after. Is Tendi
I
has a
didn't get an
totally different viewpoint on
explanation.
that.
Yeah, I stood in line for quite some time because we had a line at the
You weren't
portalets.
you weren't curious what you were signing?
Well, I mean, I knew we were getting a share. Somebody told me, like, oh, you got to go up and get your share.
That's what the cash was for. But then you
Yeah,
signed
I
a
knew
sheet
it.
of paper.
Yeah, but I didn't know about Kais being the person that's going to be representing us and stuff. I'm not saying necessarily I have a problem with that. I just didn't know about it. Like, this is the first I've ever heard about it. I only have one Pulte share, and I bought it and I DRS'd it because that's what I thought I was signing.
That is
Saying,
basically what it said. Yeah, you would buy one share and DRS it. And
yeah, I didn't know anything about, like, Kais had your voting right and all that stuff. I don't really care because I mean, I just did what they asked for that share.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
you still own the share. It just and you would never exercise your voting right as a one single shareholder.
no,
So yeah, so
Mm,
Exactly.
no. So I'm not really like upset about it. I'm just answering the question. Like, I
But
didn't hear it
but
though
the
But
because I was in the
clarification
bathroom.
is if Tendi were to say, I don't know, make a lot of money with BBBY,
bingo.
and then say, oh, I'm gonna drop $1 million into PHM,
Yeah,
do
that
those shares become part
No,
of
they do not,
Kais's? How do you know? How do you say that?
because of
because
the
it literally
contract.
says on the top one PHM share.
Yeah, but it's your name. Like it's
No,
your
no, no.
name.
It will not hold up in court. There's no way
Yeah, it sounds like
possible.
it's just a contract for
No,
one share, and
it's
it
for
wasn't even
one
a
share.
whole
You're
share at that
receiving
time.
$100.
$100.
Exactly.
Chad, not to mention, there's a video proof of it being explained on stage and for over
No,
50,000 views. So
no, 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 no,
there's a
no. But
lot of witnesses.
no, I get that. I get that. But it says that I'm giving you this to buy a share of PHM, and then you're signing your name as the voting right
Why
over
don't you bring
Kai's.
Kai's up on the recorded space? Wasn't he
I've
in here?
I
I've
tried. I
He was
invited
in
him.
I've
here.
I don't
sent
know if
like
we're
15
glitching out or
invites,
what.
He was in
so
here.
he's here. He's just he's either
I'd
unable to
like to
come
talk
up
to
or
him.
doesn't want to. Just whatever.
Kai's, come up here and talk to me, man.
It's like 1 o'clock where he's at.
It's midnight where I'm at.
Probably sleeping.
You
No,
can't be
he's
a host.
well.
You can't be a host of a new show and not want to talk. Come on, guys, come on up.
He's been a little quiet today.
I'll say this, you guys. A lot of people were very, very, very drunk that night. So
Yeah,
I
I've
was on
gotten a
so
lot
many
of
gummies
DMs
that
from
night.
people saying they were next to blacked out drunk when they signed that form.
No,
So
it's like it was like
There's
a
a
bunch of
lot of Coors
people.
Light left over for people that be drunk because it's really difficult to get drunk on Coors Light. So
that's fair.
well,
I
some of us might have pre-gamed.
Some of us were on some other things too.
Whoa.
yeah, I just for the record, I don't have any
Guys,
stake. I don't own PHM. I wasn't there. I
I
just
don't do
was
drugs.
curious because it does seem kind of odd, but I understand, Hulk, your point where the idea is for Kais to go to the meeting and say, I represent 200 shareholders.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But
guys, the
Yeah.
agreement is voidable if you're intoxicated. Okay, that's just. I really wouldn't worry about this. This is really a non-issue.
not
This will
finan-
not be
Okay.
upheld in court.
I wouldn't worry
not
about
financial advice, but you probably shouldn't sign something if you've been drinking or eating gummies. Just not financial advice though.
I'll sign it. If you're
Everything
gonna give me
sounds like a
$100, I'll
good
sign
Okay,
it,
well, I
idea
damn
when
mean,
it.
you've
we're
been
all in Bed Bath
drinking.
and Beyond. Okay, we need plenty of financial advice right now. You know what I'm saying?
Technically, none
I
of us
try to
are
go
Bed
through
Bath
the
and
line.
Beyond.
I tried to go through the line 17 times to try and start getting some, to get my cost average down, but they only let me get one. So
Oh my god.
Did
Well, I'm
anyone
gonna
get
drop down,
rugged?
you guys. I'll give up my space, but thanks. You guys have been very entertaining tonight. But yeah, I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I was there. I was drinking. I had been drinking, and I
What's
didn't.
drunk?
I was drunk, and I also had yeah, and I also kind of missed out on what was going on. But I was filled in by one of the. It might have been you, Neon, actually, because I think I
I
met
was
you.
fucked up. I have no idea
Yeah,
what
Neon, you
happened.
walked up to me and you're like, "I am Neon," and I was like, "Well,
Hello, I'm
hello."
Neon.
Yeah, and then he said, "Did you get your share?" And I'm like, "My share?" And yeah, you got to go up there and sign. You get a share. That's how that went
You
down,
probably
actually.
could.
I
That's
couldn't walk.
funny.
I just stood by the ice cream truck and had about 8 of those.
Yeah, I
Uh,
didn't get
I
any
had,
ice cream. Damn, I had to
I had
stand in line for the potty.
actually there was no line for ice cream, so I kept
Yeah,
going up.
you
I
just
got
stand
straight.
there. Hell yeah. Ice cream sucked though.
I don't. I wish I could have enjoyed the pregame location first. I thought me and PP did a pretty good job of picking that out. It was a cool place. The food was decent. The beers were good. I just, it was more like a work event for me, and I didn't get to drink until after. But I hope you guys did have a good time. And like you said, a lot of people pre-gamed and they pre-gamed at that location, and that was the intent was to add fun
Intoxicate
to
us.
the day and the night. So
That
Thank
was
you
a
for
pretty nice
everything.
location. I liked it.
It was fun, but I don't remember that part, Tindy.
You don't? That
I'm
is so funny. You
sorry.
don't? Do you remember meeting me?
I do remember meeting you at the beginning of the night.
so you don't
Okay,
remember the motorboat part either?
Uh, I
stop.
don't.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
he came up to me. He came up to me and he was like, "Hey, Tindy," and I said, "Hey," and you said you pointed to your name tag, and then you said, "Did you get your share?" And I said, "What share?" And you said, "You got to go up there and get your share. You got to sign for it." And
Yeah,
so,
I heard it, and you're like, hey, my eyes are up here. My eyes are up here, Neon.
but yeah, but you were very sweet. I was really funny though because I was like meeting so many people that night, but for some reason like that stuck out in my mind because that was when I learned about the share. So,
Wonderful. I'm glad I could inform you when I was blacked out.
well, you were having a good time.
Neon's advice is not binding in that situation.
Yeah, just to be clear, okay, Bet. Just joking, man.
I would say like there was only one person who came up to me that was unhappy with the event. I mean, there's probably more that weren't happy, or I'm sure it didn't meet everybody's expectations. If you came in with high expectations, it probably failed. But I think in general, everybody came out of that with like, quite honestly, my favorite part of both times I went to Florida for this stock was meeting the people. And I really enjoyed that part and like hanging out with like Cardi and Jake. I mean, like, so my sister was passing out shirts with Jake and Famous, and she's like, you wouldn't believe, like, people were just like besides themselves to just receive a T-shirt for free from Jake and from Famous, and it was just like, we're like, some of these people, and
Not
yeah.
Tindy. They didn't mention Tindy.
You weren't were you handing out shirts? I was outside.
Yeah, yeah. Me and your sister were.
I was
Well, I was
outside in
doing
the
name tags and
monsoon.
stuff.
I was
Yeah.
in the monsoon trying to flip papers, checking people in. It was like I get to the point. I'll say this: like I get to the point where like if you had enough balls to tell me your name and hand me a photo ID, I just let you in because I was sick of fighting the weather outside. I was like,
Yeah, the
look,
weather was pretty crazy.
if they found the location, they're handing me a federal ID and telling me their name. They must be legit. Just go ahead in. So.
Now, Control, did somebody show up that wasn't supposed to be there? Like, I heard that some people at the end of the night tried to get in or something, or was
So
that just rumored?
as you know, the bathrooms were outside, the food trucks were outside, so there were people that were able to get in, but no one caused any trouble. There was zero trouble. I mean, there was, so you guys visibly there was five security, but there was additional security undercover as well. And some of them had weapons and everything, but there was zero incidents at that entire night. I thought everything went really well.
Yeah, it went off pretty good. I mean, it wasn't bad. I
Cheat.
just, my main thing was the weather. It kind of blew.
I mean,
And
I've been to Florida a couple dozen times in my life. Legit, the worst Florida weather I've ever experienced.
yeah, standing outside to go to the bathroom was not fun. So,
Next meetup, you did cheat.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think everybody had a good time and I thought it went off really well. I just, I didn't know about the contract thing, but, like I said, that was the first time I was hearing about it, but I don't really care. I mean, it's one share. Um,
I can't get around the
I
idea
just
that
want to make sure that it's not like any other shares in the future or any other like voting rights. Like my main thing is I would like to see the contract that apparently signed. If
Every
somebody could
contract, every
send me
every
a
one
blank
of
one.
every one of them is the same except for the signature. I can just send you a copy of mine.
I
It'd be
I
Okay.
don't
nice if guys would
understand.
come up
I
with
don't
one.
understand how how you would be able to separate out that one share if you were to go buy 1 million PHM shares. How when you go to vote, you would be able to separate out that one share so Kais could use that share to vote, but you would be able to vote on your 1 million shares. I don't see,
Well,
like, to me.
my understanding is if I DRS that one share, which I just haven't got around to doing it, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, if not Monday. But if I DRS that one share and then I bought 1,000 shares 2 months from now and DRS them too, they're going into two separate accounts. The way I understand it, I would have to physically
Gotcha.
write the company and combine them. So it is if you did it the way that the contract said, that one share would be a standalone share by itself.
I mean, Kai is honestly really listening. If you came up here and just cleared this up right now in 2 seconds, it would probably put a lot of good light on you.
If I could just add in, I think I mean for me, I didn't. I was just so busy talking to people and enjoying meeting people that I didn't actually get the share. I wasn't too worried because I believe my Bed Bath shares are going to be amazing, and I'll have, I don't know, I plan on buying more, some PHM later and voting with that. But I think, for me, I had a friend, anyway, I'll just say like this morning, I scheduled a text to send out to someone that I've been meaning to reach out to, but I haven't. And so I just kind of see like the papers, as that, like to where you can do something and not have to worry about it. That's like, hey, yeah, I hope Polte is successful, in those endeavors, and yeah, I'll sign on so he's successful, and that way you don't have, he can just drop that stack of papers, at the company office, and it has weight to it, and no one has to like follow up and fly out there, but they can still like show their appreciation, for, I don't know, everything. I mean, I think that's just how I felt. I don't know how other people felt. I mean, it was a little odd to me, that it was like talked about, but I mean, everyone's strength is also usually their weakness. And, I mean, I think everyone knows Kais is kind of a loose cannon, so I doubt it was scripted. But, either way, like, it's kind of like how I feel about Overstock, I mean, Allison Abrahams is a total idiot, and, as long as there's a more competent person there, I think the whole world's better. So similarly, like, in other big companies like PHM, I'd rather have someone who isn't just a puppet of consulting agencies like Boston Consulting Group.
I've gotten a few DMs from people saying that you don't get multiple accounts at ComputerShare. Is there somebody that can verify or?
That's not. I mean, that's not true. It depends on if you had a direct purchase plan or if you transfer them through different brokers.
If it comes from two different brokers.
Yeah, so it just
And if
depends
it's
on
not
how
of a
many brokers you're
DSPP.
using.
So
So
say you put
even if you use the same broker, and if you unless you gave, if like, okay, so say you DRS one share and it goes through, you establish your account, you have all your information, it comes through snail mail, you're good to go. Now you go into that same broker and you DRS additional shares and you use that account, yeah, it would go into the same account. But if you just called them up and said, I want to DRS and do it the same way you did the original one, it would go into a separate account.
Okay.
I think maybe what your question is could be answered by like I know nothing about this, but my guess is that that the influence of those papers signed isn't going to be in a formal voting sense. It's more of like, look, this is how many people are interested in there being a change. So yeah, so I don't think it's going to actually take a vote from a person. I think it's just going to say
that's what the contract says, though, right? It does in fact say that you've given your proxy vote away. So
you can have mine.
like,
Guys, you got mine.
and again, I'm just trying to. I don't think this is good or bad. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Oh yeah, no, and I don't feel super passionate either way. But I think that anyone, like in your example, like if someone did end up, buying 1 million shares, and then they, like, I highly doubt if anyone bought 1 million shares after going to the party that they would want to vote differently than what would be in Pulse's best interest, So
But
yeah,
it's not Pulte's name on the sheet. It's not Pulte's name.
right. Yeah, I mean,
So when you say that doesn't make sense. When you say vote in a different way than Pulte,
He's
you
just saying
didn't
that
give
Kais
your.
would be aligned with that
Pulte,
same thought. That's what
okay.
Well, yeah, but up until 3 days ago, I thought Kais was aligned with PP, and that's not to talk shit about you, Kais. That's just because that's what I thought. And so, there's a document out there, and up until like a couple days ago, I thought that Kais and PP were aligned. So people's aligned. You can change how you feel, but if you have a contract, you can't change that. And so Kais has a contract for, and I'm not trying to make this a drama space, but he has a contract that says he owns the trademark for whatever he owns. And so that contract is his. Now, maybe there's a legal battle or whatever they're going to do, or he's just going to man up and give the thing over. I don't know. And I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to stay out of it. But up until a few days ago, that wasn't being held over PP's head as, talk to me or I'm not going to give this to you kind of thing. So when you say you assume that Kais will be aligned with Pulte, I don't know what's going to happen 6 months from now. And again, I didn't sign this form. I just like to find out what's going on, and it's
But
just
even if
kind of it's a curiosity to me. So I think
that's
just
a
like
good point.
you shouldn't sign things unless
Yeah,
you know
these are
what you're
pre-thought
signing. You
experiments, dude.
shouldn't.
I think it's
Yeah,
good.
you shouldn't make the assumption, like if you're going to go get married and you think, well, hey, this person, this lady's loaded and she's going to take care of me forever, right? If that's my thought. You should never sign a prenup or any other document just assuming that this person has my best interest at heart. You should read it, you should understand it, and whatever's written in black and white is exactly how the contract will be enforced. It's not like, oh, hey, this is my best friend Paul, and we've grown up together, and Paul has my back. Because when money and things come in play, we've seen recently how contracts can be enforced, right? And how people change their minds. But contracts don't change. The black and white ink won't change. But
So I
your
agree.
assumption of somebody may. And
Yeah, I knew
so
exactly what I was signing.
I agree with everything that Squeezes just said, and that's part that doesn't make sense to me. And what I mean by that is, my plan is after MOAS was like I was gonna buy a lot of shares that I have had my eye on in different organizations and PHM and IEP and things like that. Things I think that are undervalued, especially ones that pay dividends. Because my sister and I spoke about this because she does have $10,000. I think it's like just shy of 100 shares of PHM, and I told, but I mean, I told her I'm like, it's for generational wealth. It's a good stock. For today, if you're gonna sell it like within the next 6 months or not, it's over. Personally, I think it's overpriced because it's done so well over the last year. It's up 70%. But for generational wealth and the fact that it pays a dividend, it's a good stock to own. So like what I'm getting at there is if we MOAS, right, I would sit down with an attorney and validate this thing I signed before I put any of my money into PHM,
absolutely.
right? So that's the part I don't understand is like, to me, a lot. I do, like Michael and everyone else, I do still believe in the play. I think we're gonna win, whether it takes us a month or 6 months or whatever. Like, so I think like it would just slow down the process of some of us buying into the company because we would be skeptical of it. So that part didn't make sense to me, but that all being considered, because I was sober and I took everything under consideration. It's one share, and I'm okay with it. Everything I'm signing. I'm okay with Kai's representing my share. I'm okay with. I trust in Bill, right? So like, and Bill, if and like like I do think yeah, they're two different people. You're right, and they're aligned right now, and maybe 6 months from now they won't be. But at the same time, I it's like calculated risk, right? It's one share, so I was like, I'm willing to take the risk.
For the
yeah,
record,
so I think the reason I'm trying to get to the bottom of it is let's say we all do become wealthy from this. And I currently don't own any PHM. But if you know, there's people I trust, but the idea here is you shouldn't trust anyone. And Bill himself has said, "Don't trust me." Several times. He's posted it. He said it in spaces. So what I do with the money that I receive if we win is an important consideration to me. And I've spent quite a bit of time, and that's kind of where I spend my time now, is researching stocks that I'm going to buy now because I think it's part of the play, or that I would like to buy, when I have this extra disposable income. And if Kais and PHM are on some kind of like, we're gonna have some kind of weird share thing where I have the vote. Well, yeah, that's going to be something that is going to turn me away from buying that stock. And again, I'll say this out loud because it's been kind of said in public. Kais owns a trademark that is somebody else's technically, or it's technically his. I don't know. But if there's some weird shit that's going on behind the scenes, and this doesn't have anything to do with the play, I don't want anything to do with the drama behind it. I don't care who has the rights to the show and who is going to be popular on social media and all this other bullshit. But if there's some kind of weird things happening and it's trying to get people into buying PHM, or now I have more, someone has a bigger vote or whatever it is, I want nothing to do with it. So for me, it's important to get to the bottom of the truth. One, so I can know who I have a better idea of who I can trust in this whole thing, because I think if and when this pops off, that's going to be kind of an important thing, like knowing who you can believe in moving forward. To me personally, like there's groups that I'm in where it's like, small circles of DMs, and I'm sure everybody else is the same way. And most of those groups are people that I trust. And what, and there's if those people started to do strange things during the times of heightened chaos, to me that's strange. And so it isn't. People say, what's the harm if a shill comes in and gains your trust now? Well, it's harmful because down the road, when life is at maximum chaos and your shares are going up $100,000 and down 100,000 in a day or two, if that's happening, I don't know. It's going to be hard to know who really to listen to yourself only is my advice. But anyway, part of this is I want to figure out what the fuck is going on. And if there's just some weird drama going on about, well, he said this and she said that and blah, 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 then fine, they have at it. But if it's some kind of weird, hey, I'm going to have a bigger portion of these shares after all these dummies just pile in because they're blindly trusting somebody, that to me is the part that is strange. So to me, it is an important thing if I buy more shares, if somebody that signed that form buys more PHM shares, if suddenly their votes are totally gone. Like that to me is an important thing to consider. To say this contract is totally null and void, I don't know. I'm not an attorney. Betts knows a lot more about the law. He says it's not enforceable. But I mean, there was money traded and it was on a piece of paper that you signed. I don't know how that's not enforceable. Again, people have lost a lot of money over a napkin signature. So I tend to think that there's probably a leg to stand on in court, that it is in fact enforceable. But I don't know. I'm not an attorney. That's why I'm trying to figure it out. It's, for me, it's more than just like, hey, this is just one share, and I don't, I don't even have a share. I wasn't even there, but
Yeah.
there's more to it. I wish I could get Kais up here to talk. But some of the events that have happened over the last few days have made me very distrustful. Just because it's not something that I would go about doing, but I don't know the whole story, and I don't need him to come tell that part of the story. But when that's just how I feel about all this. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, because I do think it's important to know the truth and to know what's happening, and to see that form in the document. It's a little strange to me. But again, I wasn't
100%,
there. I don't know the whole thing. So
100% squeezy. And if I can take a few minutes here to, I tried to jump on a space earlier this morning and everything, and jump in, but my reception was bad, and then I just dropped out. Everybody here, I've listened last night, the other night, listened to the PP show. I think we're all kind of taken aback. I hear something like when all this drama was starting, you hear PP talking, and he's like, the PPs don't change. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? I'm not a PP. I've never been in a chat in the background because I don't do YouTube. It's just I respect PB. I love what he's developed. I love what he's done. I love the community support. You know what I am? I'm a fucking space addict. You know what that makes me? And I'm going to put a new name out there. I'm an X Factor. And there's a lot of us out here, and we're X Factors. That be Squeezy, that be no. Nobody's my boss. Nobody's my leader. These shills try and put us out there. We respect the people that are trying to do something. Pulte comes in, he's talking, I don't know all the distractions. I want to know it like you. If Kai's helped PP trademark a thing and is holding against him, Kai's is shit. That's plain and simple. I'm going to say the words out loud, and Kai's is listening. You are shit if you're going to do that and offer it and do it. I don't think you're that person, but I don't think everything else. Bill Pulte comes in. If PP comes in and gets too high for his britches or wants to, or all of a sudden, you know what, now I'm something here and doesn't want to go a certain way, I think there's a lot of communication problems. I think everything else. I wasn't at the meetup. Squeezy wasn't a meetup, but we were on spaces calling, listening to the stories of the glory that was going on there. And it was amazing the moment it happened. Bill Pulte puts his money where his mouth is. If PP did wrong, then PP did wrong. If Kai's did wrong, Kai's did wrong. There's wrong is wrong. And that's all there is fucking to it. And I'm not going to fucking say it. I 100%, if Michael wants to pursue and Bill backed him to say, hey, try this. He's not saying, everybody keeps saying lawsuit. No. Find an attorney and find out your rights. Listen to the words going out. Bill's giving him money. Find out your rights and explore it. Good. Michael, you're the fucking person to go explore your fucking rights. But I am not a PP, and I'm an X Factor. I love getting on these spaces where I got Squeezy, Chad, whoever.
Fucking hell, Greg, hurry up.
Sal loves to fucking mute me, and I love to fucking play back with. And that's my life in this play. I love for Sal to fucking mute me, and I request back to Squeezy or Chad to fuck with Sal. And I've been involved in doing this shit for 7 months, and that's who I am. All right, rant over.
How many drinks have you had, 3 Sheets?
He's pretty coherent. Probably only about 15.
Fucking awesome.
only 9.
I'm buying some Molson. Whoever owns Coors Light.
And also,
Got a
I'd
customer.
like to say, whatever drama it is, like if there is PP Kai's drama, I would prefer them handle that between themselves. I'm not going to try to get caught up in this drama. I'm not picking sides. I love them both. So I just want us all to keep our eyes focused on the prize.
Yeah, but don't be a dick and don't bring your ego into shit like this, man. That's my own personal advice and way of being. And I don't know, some of the stuff that I've heard personally, I agree with 3 Sheets. It's just absolutely dick.
Well, that's just spreading division, and I'm not.
No, it's not. We need to call out bad behavior. Like, you got to call out bad behavior.
Exactly.
That's bad
Neon.
behavior. I'm not going to just give it a pass. I love Kai's. I respect a lot of the work they've done, but that is shitty behavior.
You don't know.
I don't want to see it.
You don't know what's going on.
No, we don't know what he did, but
you have no fucking clue. You're sowing division within the community, is what you're doing by speculating.
No, I'm not.
Wait, hold on. Let me jump in.
No, there's no division.
One at a time.
Please. No, there's no division. I have a pretty good idea that there was some negative behavior going on, and maybe they should have handled that personally, but it didn't happen that way, and so I'm just going to condemn the negative behavior and not the person, and it's not sowing division. I just don't want any kind of shitty behavior that has to do with people on their ego trips or trying to get more power influence. I'm
Okay,
not
Neon,
interested.
if I can just, sorry, Squeezy, if I can just say this one little point. My point to that is the reason we have spaces is because you talk and your voice is there. And if and I think PP is still hung on the Reddit mode, the type out mode, unless you no, get on and talk it out. And everything here is voiced out. I put my voice behind everything. Yeah, Andrew gave me a nickname and all that, but everybody knows my real name. I don't care. I like to have fun a lot, but my community is the space community. My community is the people that I spend 20 hours a day listening, and I know when to join, and I know when there's a fun space, and I know when there's a serious space. And when I can learn from something that Jake or Sal or anything,
Hey, three
I
sheets.
fucking sit back and learn.
In the military, we used to have a thing where we say, "Hey, motherfucker, I asked you the time, not how to build the clock." Right? So it takes you forever to say something, but I do love you, and I've come around. I wasn't a big fan of you in the
Jesus.
beginning, but listen, words matter, right? So all I'm gonna say about this, I think it needs to be settled between PP and Kais. But all I'm gonna say about this is, if you remember, when they went to not trademark, but when they went to register the domain, it was already registered, and the person who owned it asked PP for $3,500. And what did Kai say? He came on, he did a video, and he said, "Whoever you are that owns the domain and is asking PP for $3,500, you're a piece of shit, you're a scumbag, and we have now trademarked, or not trademarked, we have now secured the domain ppshow.tv," or whatever it was. I'm paraphrasing, right? So those are the exact words from Kai's mouth. So I trust that Kai's and PP will do handles in the background, and Kai's will do the right thing. If not, he should listen to his own words. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Thank you for getting to the point that I couldn't get to, but you're right.
No, Greg,
Yeah,
you hit some good points, man. You
to,
didn't talk any longer than anybody else tonight.
yeah, no, I think
I'll,
I like Greg. I just real quick, just since people bash you, I think Greg's a pretty smart guy. Um, when he gets a few in, sometimes it takes him a minute to land the plane, but if you listen to him, he's got some good points.
Absolutely.
But I just want to pop in really quick. I was not trying to talk shit or bring up the drama. I was merely bringing that up as to say, if there's a contract is a binding document. So just because someone says something or does something that makes you feel one way or the other, that doesn't matter. And I would like to get to the bottom of what that contract was that people signed, because to me that's a direct reflection of maybe what PHM is, or what's going on with that, or what the motives were behind that contract. And if I have a better understanding of that, maybe that guides me into whether or not I want to purchase that stock. That's all. That's why I want to know more about this contract. If people knew what they were signing, what the contract means in the long term, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Not like, well, hey, Kais is best friends with Pulte, so he's always going to do the same thing that Pulte wants, because we've seen clearly over the last few days that that's not always the case. That was my point in bringing that up. If I just can distill that down to a few sentences.
No, you're 100% correct, because if you remember yesterday after the Pulte space and everything else, and then when PP was starting his show, and then Kais came on and held a space, and he said Pulte, and he had Pulte's name in there, and Pulte came in the space, and all he did was pop up and say, "Can you please remove my name from the space?" So that just adds to the questions, and I think we're all entitled to the answers. And simple
Well,
as that.
it was conjoined with lawsuit because we've had Pulte's name in a lot of titles. So he just wanted it removed in conjunction with the word lawsuit, in my humble opinion.
And also, yeah, obviously we would love for them to just take it to the DMs and all that stuff, but they're not. So there's obviously going to be people that are going to be talking about it and stuff. So
Sal,
I
we see
mean,
your hand up. Naked shorting is a problem in Wall Street.
yeah,
We'll
we
get to
see you. We appreciate you.
We
We'll get to you,
appreciate you.
Sal.
Mike, it's Michael's idea anyways that you stole.
Go ahead, Sal.
Hey, do you guys remember when CN got really pissed off because we wouldn't listen to his DD and he cried? Anyway, that wasn't what I was going to say. I just remembered it because I had my hand up. that was so fucking funny. Secondly, what I really want to say is that I get angry at shills because they come and they present a conclusive outcome without all the comprehensive information about something. And I would apply the same logic to the Kais and PP situation. If you don't know all the stuff that's gone on, please try and refrain from making a decision and making assumptions. I speak to Kais regularly. I speak to PP regularly. I'm impartial on both of them. I think they're both good guys. When something of this scale is going on and you're seen as a figurehead, whether it's by choice or not, I didn't choose to be a leader in the spaces. It just happened over time because I held them consistently with a high quality. Now people assign me the term of, oh, you hold the spaces, so you're a leader. I didn't ask for that. It just happened. And the same with Kai's, the same with PP. They wanted to do something they want to do. And as a result, they became prominent voices in this quote unquote community. Now, I know Kai's personally. He is a very, very loyal person. Like, if Kai's is your friend, he will fucking fight anyone for you. He would go against Polte if it was loyal. He would go against PP. And this is the type of person he is, and he always has been. I think that's why Polte sees value in Kai's. Now, I've spoken to Kai's separately just about a few other things. I know that, obviously him and PP have fallen out. There's obviously a barrier of communication. I'm sure there's a lot of background stuff going on since Florida that's kind of caused a lot of tension between them. And I just want people to kind of take a step back, don't make a rash decision. Let them hopefully sort it out. And I'm hoping as minimal as possible reaches the public domain and they resolve this diplomatically with each other behind the scenes, and the fallout is kind of minimized, because this doesn't help anyone. All it does is give the shills more stuff to laugh at. It makes us look stupid. It gives Meltdown as fuel. What's the benefit for this, really? If someone is being a piece of shit, I'll be the first to call them out, 100%. I get this whole division is bad stuff, but if someone's a dick, they need to be called out for it. Whoever the fuck it is, it doesn't matter if it's me, Jake, OK Bed, anyone on any level needs to be called out for bullshit. We have the right to question things. You have the right to seek answers. You have the conscious mind to make up your own decision. And I hope that Kais can clarify the PHM stuff with you guys. Maybe he's not in a position to speak right now. I'm sure it's late and he's in bed. And I hope he clears that up. I hope he clears up the trademark stuff. And I hope there's full transparency with it. And that's just my kind of feedback about this whole shit show that's happened over the last few days.
Fucking love Sal.
Thanks, Sal. That was a great way to sum it up.
Don't go anywhere, Sal. Kais is coming up, man.
And you want to know why you become a leader. You come in and you spit fire like that, and then you're like,
I've just
why
finished
you're a
gym,
leader.
and I've got a raging erection right now, so I wanted to kind of just talk anyway.
Oh, let's
That
play
was a
Papa
beautiful
Sausage.
diatribe.
But Sal, to your point, that's why I think it's important to ask these questions,
Can
and I think that
you
sometimes
asked me?
I think
I agree.
sometimes asking questions.
Can I
Jim
talk
must be
now
happy that
so
you
I can
finished
go
him.
back to bed?
Kais is here. Go ahead, Kais. Kais in the toilet to try and tell us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sal, thank you so much for everything you said. I was not gonna come up, but what you said right now deserves that me jumped out of the bed and came to thank you. Sal, like 5 hours ago, we spoke, me and you, and I explained to you exactly what happened. And you know my position. You know what I've done yesterday, and you know what I've done. It's good for, not for me, not for Pulte, not for PP. It's good for the community. Correct or not?
I think that the way you've approached things needs to change, and I did say that to you, but I understand why you did it and where you're coming from.
Okay. The other thing, squeezes. I've been listening to you for almost an hour now. You keep repeating the same thing. You said it once, and then you finish after like half an hour. You say it again. You kept repeating yourself for the same thing. All right. Okay, Bet was here. He explained to you once or maybe twice that the contract on top of the contract, it says one share, one voice. If you buy 1 million shares of PHM, that contract doesn't include the million shares you bought. It's only for one share. Anybody who came up into the stage, they signed for a paper. It says one. Some people got $200. We crossed the one and we changed one by two. That contract represents only one share. Done?
Okay, so guys, if I can, since you seem angry that I've been asking questions, and I haven't said anything bad about you, I don't think. I think I've been fair. I've been trying to get to the bottom, and I'm asking
No,
questions, which is
you
absolutely my
kept,
right.
listen, I'm not saying that, but you kept repeating like it's like a tape.
Oh, okay, Bet is not the end all be all
No,
lawyer
you
person.
have
He's
the
not even an attorney.
sure, you have the
So
contract.
because Okay Bet said it's one share. No, hold on, Keist.
Uh-huh.
Because Okay Bet said it's only one share, he also said the contract's unenforceable. So what is it? Is it an actual contract or is it one share? So I think it's fair of me to say, what's the real deal with this contract? And
Okay,
I don't think Okay Bet.
I'll tell you what's
I don't think Okay Bet is the end all be all, and I don't
Sure.
think that it's fair of you to say just because Okay Bet said something.
Okay.
It's the gospel.
Okay.
And I'm not even religious.
Let me ask you this. We have
Yeah.
283 people here listening. I have
Mhm.
one question for you. How many times? Okay, how long you been trading stocks?
A while now.
Like what? Which is good. I love to hear that answer. How many years?
I don't know, 6, 7 years.
How many times you went to a shareholders meeting and you've been there and if you fought for your rights?
I vote as often as possible.
How many
How many times have I gone to the actual meeting? Zero.
Yes.
How many times have I attended a meeting on like a Zoom conference? Several.
Okay, but zero. You never been to a shareholders meeting, right?
Physically, no.
Okay.
But my votes went to the meeting. I don't know how physically sitting in a meeting would be different, but go ahead.
Okay. So that contract is a way for me to go physically to the annual shareholders meeting and fight for what Sal said. Guys is loyal for whatever is good for the company and for the best interest of Bill Pulte. Done deal. I have nothing to add. Anything else? I have nothing to.
Guys, I have 3 questions for you actually before you go.
Well, that doesn't answer the questions though, Kais. I appreciate you saying that, and we've never had any problems. I have no problem with you now. But if we're gonna just like get down to the brass tacks of it, what you just said makes me feel nice, but it doesn't answer the questions I've been asking, which is why I've been asking the question over and over again, as you so eloquently stated. Because sometimes to get the right answer, you have to ask the questions more than one time. So I'm sorry that bothered you.
Because no, what bothers me is you kept going back and forth, mentioning and linking both contracts to what happened between me and PP. As everybody said, and some people said it here, let them deal with it by themselves.
Right. Let me explain to you why I did that. Let me stop you really quick and explain why I did that. All right. So what you just did is you came up and you told me, you said with your words that made me feel nice, I only have everyone's best interest at heart. Well, a week ago, and I've heard you in spaces like 2 months ago, you said, I own the trademark. I got it for PP. When the time is right, I'm going to transfer it to him. Well, within the last few days, and I would love if you guys dealt with this in DMs, but you haven't so far. So now it's out in the open for everybody to talk about. And so I'm going to talk about it. So recently, hold on.
I don't remember talking
yes,
to
in
you
a fucking space. I heard that with my own ears. That's how I knew you had the trademark. You said when the time is right, you plan to transfer it to PP. You did it as a favor to him. That's what you said in a space. I would swear that on my life. Whether you're going to say that's not true or not, I don't know, but that's what I heard. That's what I'm going to go to the grave believing. So you said that with your words. And what's happened over the last couple of weeks is now you've weaponized that trademark against PP. And you've said nice, rosy words about PP in the past, which is what you've just done now. You made me feel good about your intent. But what is actually the law is what's in black and white on that contract. So what you're saying now while it may be true and it may be your intent now, I don't know enough to know that what's on that contract is what is it what you're saying, or is it what you're
Okay,
saying to make me feel good? I'm not
let
an
me.
attorney, and
Yeah,
so just like every other thing every other thing in this entire play, someone comes up and says, well, this is what Sussman says, and this is what it says in the contract, and this is what this word means. But then we go back and forth and we spin it around the washing machine until we feel like we have the right answer. But we don't know for sure because we're not attorneys. And so
right.
at the end of the day, whatever you say is great, but what you've said in the past made me feel
Okay,
good then, and now it's changed. And what you're saying
let
now about this PHM contract makes me feel good, but it's subject to change because
let me
the
ask you
only thing
something.
that matters is what's black and
Okay,
white.
I gotta ask
Maybe
you
it does
something.
matter too.
All right, Squeeze it. I'm gonna ask you something. Did you sign a contract?
I had nothing to do with the contract, and I've explained why
So
I'm
hold on, hold
curious
on, hold
about
on, hold
this.
on, hold on, hold on. Let's look at it
Yeah,
legally,
let's go
right?
down this logical path. I did not sign a
Yes.
contract.
Do you have any interest in the contract?
I do have an interest in the contracts. Yes,
Explain it to me.
clearly.
How do you have an interest in the contract?
Yeah. So let's go here, right? I'm the kind of guy that I like to know what the truth is, and I like to find out what the answers are.
So
So I
is that
assume.
is
Hold on,
that
I'm going to answer your question. I assume that I'm right in this Bed Bath and Beyond play, and I assume that hopefully I'm going to have a whole bunch of money here soon.
okay?
Now, what do I do with this money when I get it? I'm not the person personally. Here's my plan. I'm not going to sit on this cash and let it sit in my bank because I don't think cash is
Right.
going to be worth much. So I'm going to purchase things. So
Okay.
I have a sheet of things I plan on purchasing.
Hmm.
PHM is one of those things that I've got a question mark by. Do I
Okay.
purchase it? I'm pretty sure I'd like to because so far Bill has been awesome. Bill has been nothing but great to this community. I look up to him. I think he's a good guy.
Good.
And so yes, I have an interest in the contract because if the contract is some kind of nefarious way for you to like suddenly weasel away a whole bunch of seats or votes to get,
Mm.
and I'm not saying this is the case, Kais, by the way, I'm not accusing you of this. I'm asking these
Okay.
questions and I'm doing it
No,
in the
but
open.
I know
So my
I
question
know where
is
you're
if this
going.
was,
I know
hold on,
where.
let me answer. Let me
Go
finish
ahead.
the question.
Yeah.
I don't want to
It's
mute
not
you,
a.
Kais.
It's an answer. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if this is some kind of backdoor way for you to suddenly gain a whole bunch of votes, which and I'm not saying it is, but is it possible? That to me is a very strange thing to do, and it throws up a red flag as a possibility. And so what do I do? Do I sit quietly? And that's not who I am. That's not what I've done in this entire thing. So I ask the questions, and you're in the space, and I offered you to come up several times and talk, and you didn't want to, and that's fair. That's up to you, whatever you want to do. But I kept asking the question because that's why my interest is there. Is PHM a company that I want to put my money into? And that's all there is to it. So if the contract is some sort of nefarious way for you to gain enough votes to get onto a board seat or to have a sway in the company, then no, I don't want anything to do with PHM. So that's where my interest is your words are nice and they're making me feel good when you say I have the best interest of the company, but recently your actions have kind of gone, separate from your words. And contractually, you have no obligation, I don't think, to give PP that contract. You guys probably have to go fight it out in law or in court. I don't know enough about it, but I think probably as it stands, like that's your trademark, regardless of what you said. So that's my interest in finding the truth. I like to know the truth about things. And it's nothing to do. It's not like I'm bashing you guys. So you're in the space while I'm asking these questions, and you didn't want to. I mean, that's. I don't see the problem with asking the questions because we haven't gotten to like a solid answer yet. You saying you have the best interest in the of everything that does make me feel better, but I don't know for sure if that. I mean, that contract to me feels like it's enforceable. I could
Can
probably
I
Google
answer
a
you?
dozen stories. Yeah, I can. I'm just saying I can find a dozen stories about napkin
Sure.
contracts that screwed people over. So
Can I answer you?
yeah.
Okay. I have legal representation of 175 shares, basically individual, for one share or maybe two shares each in the annual shareholders meeting. With that representation, I can move a company, I can fire a CEO, I can fire the COO and the CFO, and I can have a position in the board of directors and maybe a chairman of the board. So basically, those 175 representation, I suggest for you be careful. Don't invest in PHM in the future because I might be the CEO of the company.
Why would you? Why would I
So
have to be Why would I have to be careful? That sounds like a threat, and I've done
because
nothing to. I'm not threatening you, Kais.
because I'm very bad. Okay, Sal, you have 3 questions
Well,
now. Go to
Kais,
bed.
that didn't clear anything up. That just made me feel like less comfortable about what's going on here. You just threatened
That's
me in the
Where did
space.
you get the
that's good.
seventeen
Don't
and a
be
half thousand
comfortable.
dollars for those votes?
All right,
Kais,
Sal,
hold on, Kais. That
Sal,
was like a really creepy thing to
Sal,
go and say,
Sal.
and I've done
You
nothing.
have 3 questions. I gotta go back to bed. Sal, can you answer? Can you ask your
Man, that
question?
was really, Kais, that was really fucked up. I'm going to say that out loud. Your response to me was really fucking childish and it was really fucked up.
Okay.
I don't appreciate that. You just threatened me and you said, don't own PHM because I'll be the CEO and I'm a bad guy.
You've been. I mean, I've been listening to the space for almost an hour now,
And you
I've
didn't like
been
what I had to
listening.
say, but I haven't said nothing bad about you. I've said several times I have no problem with you. I like you. I've DM'd you. We've had conversations. I've never had a hard time with you before. And nothing I'm saying now is bad. And the fact that you're acting the way you're acting makes me feel more suspicious. Because instead of just responding and having a conversation about it, you went and made a threat. And that always is a red flag. When someone's threatening something, when you should be
Squeezy,
having like an intellectual conversation
Squeezy,
and you're threatening physical violence or some sort of other kind of threat, that's a huge red flag.
Squeezes,
Really get
Squeezes.
upset.
I've been in the spaces for almost 5 months now.
Mm-hmm.
I know when you speak like the calm way, and I know the tone. I don't see your face, but I know from the tone of your voice when you are mad, when you are serious, and when you're joking. Okay, since this space started, and you kept bringing back like the trademark, the shares, the trademark, the shares. It looked to me like suspicious what you've been doing. So I answered your question the way you've been repeating yourself during that space. Go ahead, Sal, if you have questions.
Yeah. So 3 questions. The first one is the copies of the contract. Would you be willing to upload them, or at least upload the one that everyone signed, so everyone can see what they signed and it's out in the public? Because I think a lot of people said, from what I've heard, that they didn't have a copy. So would you be able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Secondly, obviously the PP situation, I know, and I hope you guys, I see PP down there. I hope you guys resolve it, but are you willing to sign over the trademarks back to PP?
If he signs, okay. Let me say something. If he signs, me and PP, we can go to a lawyer. All right. He
If
have to
he's
sign. Hold on. If he signs an agreement that he will never, never, never change with any circumstances, even paid money from any third party like hedge funds, market makers, to flip against anyone of the community or 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 Bill Pulte, then I will transfer for him
So
the
do you
trademark.
feel
It's
concerned that
conditional. It's
he might
condition
do that? Is that why you want to give
exactly.
this condition?
Absolutely.
Guys, I asked you
Okay,
this
I can't
morning.
speak on behalf of PP.
I asked you in the space this
So,
morning if you were holding that trademark over his head, and you said no.
I don't need the trademark, but I am very worried of his
Yeah,
behavior.
but that the thing
That's
is like
bad faith.
he made
How
the
he
Bad
show.
faith.
flipped.
And the thing is like it's not like he could do whatever he wants. It's the PP show, right? It's not the Kai show, right? So it's like if you made the Kai show and then someone took it over, that'd be, I don't know, that'd be different. But like it doesn't, he doesn't have to stick to even what he believes, when he started the show, right? He's his own person. He's PP. So I mean, I just think that was kind of a really weird response. I really wasn't expecting you to say that, to be honest. I think you should reconsider that. Is my 2 cents.
Well,
Kais, do you feel
people,
that contract you had people sign is an enforceable contract? Or do you feel like it's unenforceable?
I'm not gonna answer you.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because OK Bet said it was unenforceable, But then you used him as the legal example to say that whatever he said is the truth. So do
Okay.
you believe OK Bet in some instances and not others?
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
Sal, what's your third question?
Last question. Yeah, Sun Devil asked it earlier, and if you're willing to answer this, that's up to you. Where did the funds to buy the PHM stuff come from?
I'm not going to answer that.
That's cool. You know, I respect you, as I said. I think we'll speak separately after this anyway. I understand you and PP have had some issues behind the scenes, perhaps you're not mentioning, and PP doesn't like talking about publicly. I hope you guys can just reach out to each other. Maybe you need someone like a mediator, like Ramez or somebody impartial, that you can get it resolved through. But I think for both your benefits, I hope you get this shit sorted out.
Kais, I respect you. I've never had a problem with you, man. I just want to throw that out there. I'm not trying to come at you. I did feel like that answer was a little suspicious, but I get it. You feel like I'm being suspicious. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of things.
Squeezes,
Just
let
want
me
to put
tell you
that out there,
something.
man.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I care a lot about the community.
I do too.
I care a lot about the investment. And let me
We're
tell
on
you,
the same page here.
I swear, if I did something, it's for the best interest of everybody. Okay? I took whatever I took yesterday, it's like left or right. Even I was looking, even the people like the haters, the chills from Jimmy Downers, they come supporting me and putting gas on oil. Gas on fire. It's crazy. But I kept silent.
Guys, what determines in your mind what is best for the community? You just said whatever you do is best for the community. So I would like to know, because you know what? Like I stated, and PP's listening now too. I'm not a PP. I'm a SpaceX. I'm fucking the X Factor.
By the way, do you know what's PP? Do you know what's PP means?
I don't give a fuck, really.
No, because
it means whatever he
PP is
wants it
calling
to
you.
mean. He could start talking about Playboy. It wouldn't matter. It's his thing.
PP is
Like I just don't think you don't.
PP is calling everybody. You are my peepees. You are my peepees. Do you know what my PP means?
Wait, hold on, Kais, real quick before we get off onto this tangent. Kais,
like a penis?
Hold on. I'm sorry. I don't want people to start yelling at each other. Kais, I do want to say to you that I believe that you are doing what's best for the community in your own mind, and that's all an individual can do, right? And that is what I'm doing by asking these questions. I believe that by asking questions and finding the truth, that's what's best for the community. And so, yeah, you take your approach, I'll take mine. But I think that my approach to asking questions is fair. And it's not that I'm coming after you as like a bad guy. I'll stand up for you. I like you. But I also stand up for my right as an individual or somebody that's going to try to find answers to ask the questions. And so I appreciate you for doing what's best in your mind for the community, and I'm going to do what's best in my mind. I think we're on the same page with all that. Yep. But I don't care what PP stands for or anything else. That's
Squeezes. You're my brother. I love you today, yesterday, and tomorrow.
Kais, I appreciate you too, and I second what Squeezes says, and really, it's coming. It's not personal for me. I'm just trying to better understand things as well. But I will say, it's like your lack of willingness to answer those questions is obviously not transparent. It doesn't breed a lot of trust with me personally. I can't speak for anybody else in the community. I don't care about the thumbs down, whatever. It's true. He didn't answer the questions. And that's evasive, and that's not breeding trust. And if you want to breed trust, in my opinion, you should be transparent about what's going on, what you're doing, and what your agenda is. And then people won't give you shit. But when it's secretive, people are going to ask a lot more questions. So just get ready for them.
What's my agenda? What do you think?
I don't know. I think you're wholesome. I think you mean well. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt until proven wrong. Like I don't, but like I can't give everybody the benefit of the doubt on the internet.
All right, let me ask you something. I've been in this play since the day Mark Triton resigned. Can you please, I beg you for that, name one thing I've done bad for the play or for the best
Yes.
interest of,
Lied
you know,
to PP
okay.
to gain leverage over him, to manipulate him in the name of being best for the community.
That is definitely something that has brought like my concern, Kai's, personally.
Okay.
And I don't fully understand the situation, so I'm going to hold judgment here, and I'm going to wait till you guys figure it out. I think that'll be best. But being transparent means a lot more to me personally than platitudes about how you care about the community. I want to see action. I don't give a shit what you have to say. No, it's not
PP, why
personal.
don't you come up? PP, why don't you come up? Let's break it.
I need to
Let's break
drop
it.
somebody who wants to
Yeah,
go.
bring it. Yeah, bring PP up.
I mean, I'll
I
invite
think
him up.
three seats wants to be dropped.
All
I
right,
would absolutely
go ahead and
hear
boot him,
this.
Chad.
Go have a
Hey,
beer.
Hear
well,
this. I would
well,
absolutely
well.
volunteer and not let Sal do it to me.
Thanks, Three Sheets. While they're dropping them down, all I'll say, guys, is like if you Taylor Swift fans are called Swifties and PP
Look,
fans are called
okay.
PPs. I don't take offense
PP,
to it,
PP, are you coming up? No.
but I don't take
I'll
offense
let
to
him
it.
request. If
Yeah.
he wants to come up, he can request.
So guys, just my 2 cents. I thought the contract thing was
Hold
awkward,
on,
but
hold on, hold
whatever.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
I think that
No, no,
the
hold on, hold
trademark
on.
thing though,
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
that's just pretty
hold on.
clear. I don't know why you'd hold it hostage, right?
Okay, hold on, hold on. You're moving out. I'm asking. So we have two people arguing about something. I asked PP to come up so we can let everybody know about what's going on, and he's refusing to come up. PP, I challenge you right now in front of everybody to come
Dude,
up.
we tried to get you for an hour to come up and talk.
Okay, so now,
You want to talk about it?
no.
Let's talk about it.
All right. You know what? I'm
Can I
wasting.
just say that the way Kaiser's whispering makes it sound even more like creepy and nefarious.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to wake up my
You
wife.
guys
My
should
wife is sleeping.
handle it
She's
offline.
reviewing.
It's still
She's reviewing for the bar exam. I don't want to wake her up.
yeah, but Kais, you came up to kind of get at Squeezes, and I get it. But what we do here in these spaces is we run things to ground. We play contrarian. We're trying to sort things out, man. There was no
Because I'm going to be
malintent.
CEO one day.
The community sniffs out red flags really quickly,
Yeah.
and they want to know what's going on. And I think it's reasonable, Kais, and I hope you agree, that people ask questions. I asked you three fair questions. You had the choice to answer them or not, and then everyone can make their decision on the way you answered them. So at the end of the day, these are very conscious people. No one trusts Wall Street. We don't trust banks. We don't trust governments. And we sure as fuck don't trust each other. So that's the nature of it. And everyone's going to continue to question things. If you want to
Whatever.
answer questions and take down the red flags that are being held up against you, then that's up to you
Yes.
to conduct
So,
yourself that way.
Sal, I called before I went to any spaces yesterday. I called PP in private like 10 times, and he didn't want to answer. Okay, and then I went on spaces and I spoke. Right now, I'm asking him to come up so we can tell everybody why I did that, and he doesn't
Right,
want to
Maybe,
come
guys.
up.
maybe there's some
I
stuff
think
he
you're
doesn't want to discuss in public. I don't know what happened in
Okay,
Florida or after
all right.
Florida, but I'm assuming
All
some
right,
stuff's
so
happened
if
between
he
men.
doesn't want to discuss that in public, he better stop,
Okay,
posting some
power
stupid
words.
things and
No,
attacking me indirectly and attacking other people indirectly.
try not to
If
use the
let's,
word "he better." That's please,
all right,
guys, just try
Yeah,
not
I
to use
agree
the
with
word.
Chad
That's
there. I
cultural,
think
Chad.
that each person should worry about themselves, right? And the thing is that I think it's just like to hold leverage against someone it just isn't right? Like, I mean, people should, if they want to freely conform to what you're doing, great. If they don't, like, there's no way. It's I don't know how you don't see it as sounding as crazy when you say, I want him to promise he's never going to do these things. Like, that sounds completely insane, right? Like, it's just that's just completely unreasonable, right? I think the Pulte shares is kind of different, and I do kind of side with Squeeze this thing. It makes a really compelling argument, right? But I know that at the end of the day, right, that it doesn't carry a lot of weight just to have 175 shares. And so I think that was like okay / awkward, but I support Polte, and so whatever, I don't really care. But I think that the whole trademark thing, it's just like that crosses a very clear line in my book, and I think in a lot of people's books. And I think that you're like losing more people's confidence by like doubling down on this like kind of extortion. And like I just think that, if I was you, I wouldn't do that. I would just give the trademark up.
Let me ask you
Kais,
something.
Kais,
All
can I
right,
say
hold on,
something?
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
Yep,
on.
yep. Go ahead.
Okay, let me explain to you I'm gonna give you some education about law. So right now, the trademark it's only an application. That application has not been assigned to a lawyer from the USPTO to even look at the application. That trademark is not transferable to anyone right now until a decision is taken by that lawyer. It might be approved, it might be disapproved, it might be a notice, a likelihood of confusion, anything. But for now, it's just an application.
Right. So why don't you just
How,
cancel it then? Why would you then say, well, I'm only going to give it to him once he promises with a lawyer that he's never going to do X, Y, and Z, right? That's what I'm saying. That's the part.
oh,
And I don't know if it's like a language barrier thing or something or a
so
cultural
you
barrier,
want me to
but
cancel it?
it sounds,
Okay, you want me to cancel it? I
I
will
want you to,
cancel it.
I mean, sure. Yeah. I mean, if
Okay,
PP wants to do his own
Michael's
trademark,
actually
great.
angry. Michael's
you
angry.
know what?
I am a little bit angry. I don't want to be
Holy
I
involved in
shit.
like
this.
this
This is
Michael.
this
This
is why
Michael
you
was
have that
fun.
reputation.
Yeah,
This
tomorrow
Michael
I'll
was
call
fun.
the USPTO and
Michael,
see
take a deep
how
breath.
can I cancel it. Sounds good?
Great, do it. I mean, I would ask PP, but I think that's the right thing to do, in my opinion. You know,
Okay.
Take a lap, Michael. Take a lap.
But I want you to ask first. I mean, can you take $1,000 from those $10,000 to call if you cancel a trademark? Maybe it's not registerable in the future. You want to do that, or should I do it?
okay. Look, what sounds odd to me is when what you said, right? When you said, "I'm only gonna give it to him if he promises forever," and then you listed a bunch of insane things, right? Like if
What
I'm on,
what what insane things? What did I mention?
Well, even if they're not insane things,
Blowjobs.
it
it's the
doesn't
fact that there's
matter.
an if X,
Exactly.
Y, Z. And
Maybe
then I
explain it to
Exactly.
understand
him.
PP not wanting to come up and talk because you're not in equitable positions. You're holding leverage over him. So and having a
No,
conversation, you have
Hey
to
guys,
assume
no.
good
guys,
PP
faith.
doesn't want to come up.
can I say
You have
PP
to
something?
assume
doesn't want
good
to
faith
come
to
up.
have a
Problem sex.
conversation,
So I had
and
my
there's
hand
clear
up. I don't.
demonstration that there's not good faith. So I understand PP not coming up.
He doesn't
I
want
don't.
to come up because he doesn't want people. So if he doesn't want to have people know what's going on,
Guys, you did
it's
defame him and call him a pussy, and you called him like a bitch in like these other spaces here earlier, and that's not necessarily that's not showing like goodwill. And you promised him this
Hey
trademark in
guys, listen.
before. That's
I
I'm
had
saying.
my.
It's he said this earlier.
I know, but I had my hand up, and then Sal had his hand up, and people are just speaking. So why
okay.
don't we
Let
just?
me let me say
So,
something before we
well,
move
can
on.
I?
Go ahead, Chaos.
Yeah. So, Kais, all I'm gonna say is that, I in your head, right? Go. I'd like you to go back to that day when all 8 of us were in the what we dubbed the PP house in Florida for the first meeting, and I feel that everybody was genuine, and the feeling that I had in that room was I was truly with my brothers. It felt like more like a reunion than meeting you for the first time, and that's like Michael, ABC, Rock Solid, and take the high road. Both you and PP speak offline. We don't need 65 other people's opinions because in the end, it's just between you and PP, and I do trust that you'll do the right thing. And and this doesn't help the community. And Bill has said it before: we're better united than we are divided. So stop beating a dead horse, people. He knows your opinion, and we know his opinion at this time. Let him take it offline and deal with it. If we have questions on other stuff, that's fine. But I think we're just as far as the trademark thing. I think everybody in the space is in agreement that Kai should give it to PP, and Kai's is
Control,
going to do what Kai's wants to do in the end.
control. Let me
Yes.
tell you something. There is one guy here in all the spaces. and his name is ABC. Okay, everybody, what you guys are doing here, you are dividing everything. But ABC, he sent me a message, and PP, he's listening here.
None of us are dividing.
We're not.
Kais,
We're
Okay,
talking about bad behavior, not
I
about
didn't,
you.
look, one at a
can
time,
I
No,
one at a
finish?
All
time.
right. Well,
no.
he's talking. Let him talk.
Can I finish?
Yeah, everybody be quiet.
Okay, ABC he created a group of the three of us, ABC, myself, and PP. And he wrote the same, I'm going to read what he wrote. Guys, this is bigger than all of us. Guys, be loyal. PP, forgive, please. Guys, we are ambassadors to RC, Elon, Pulte, and more. Please. I replied to him with a thumbs up, and he said, guys, thank you, guys. Love you, brother. I replied to him, ABC, I love you a lot. No, I have a lot of respect to you, my brother. I love you too. PP did not answer yet.
I
How
do believe he.
demeaning is it to ask PP to forgive while just now you held it over his head?
All right, you know what? Get the
You were
fuck out of
you
here.
were
You know what?
slandering
Let
him
me say something.
earlier.
It's
You
fucked
were
up. You
slandering
know
him
this.
like 3 hours
Fuck
ago,
his
Kai.
shit. You know what? I'm wasting my.
All right, hey, sorry. Let's try to keep it civil. I think Kais being up here says it says he's trying to move the ball forward.
Yeah,
This wasn't.
Squeezes, but
Hold on,
basically,
hold on,
yep.
hold on.
Sorry, yeah.
This wasn't intended to be a space about the trademark and to try to air their problems openly. That's between them. I only brought that trademark into account to say, just because you say something, it means nothing unless it's written in black and white and in ink. And that was my whole point. And I was using that as an example. And so I think I'm the one that brought this up, and I did not mean it to turn into like he said, she said stuff. And I do think that it's good that you're both in here listening, because this whole thing has caused a lot of problems, and there's a lot of people talking, and some of this is public, and I would love to see you guys deal with this, but everyone's an individual. Do what you want. I'm not going to tell you guys you have to make good and do all this stuff. That's you guys are grown men. Do what you want, but I don't think we need to sit here and bash Kais. I don't want to hear anyone bash Peepee. I don't want to hear anyone bashing. I think we should get questions and we should have answers, and we should try to keep everything civil. So go ahead, Sal. You have your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell Michael to calm down.
Yeah, I do think that was my next point as well. As Michael, your PFP is starting to turn red.
Your hair and your face are probably the same color right now. Just relax, Michael. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
sick
Controlled had his
to
hand
be
up.
up here with you.
Yeah, so I think two of the best at running spaces are Chad. No disrespect to only the young, but Chad and Squeezes. So my recommendation is, if people don't
Okay,
have their
great.
hand up
Thanks.
and
I'm
they
not that young. Controlled chaos. I'm 43, dude.
no,
Okay,
you're
you don't need to jab at me like that, bro.
only the young.
Yeah,
It
and
says
me as well, and me
only
too,
the
Chaos.
young.
It says
I take
only
that
the
personally.
hung.
Okay,
Okay.
well I saw only th dot dot dot. Okay,
Well,
I'm
go
being
ahead and click
respectful.
on my profile and figure out who I am before you come at me.
Controlled chaos is the divider.
Look at
You know what? Fuck this. I'm going to trademark Controlled Chaos, and you don't get it
Yeah.
back until you sign over your body to Squeezes.
Yeah. Thanks, Control.
well, I've already signed off over my body to Squeezes, so I guess I get it back. So
Wait, what was the point of
anyhow,
this?
Oh, that
Why
but
was
are you
easy.
even
Okay,
running
great.
this?
anyhow, my recommendation, it's more cordial if you do one at a time, hands up. If they speak out of turn, just drop them down. It can't act like adults. They deserve to be dropped down. My opinion.
And you know what? I'm just giving everyone a podium. So go
Yeah,
at
I
me.
think I agree with Chaos, and I think because he spoke out of turn, we should drop him down.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop him down because I'm young.
I go ahead, boot him, Chad. If you got offended, that's your right.
Well, it's because I'm so
Neon.
young.
Go ahead, Neon.
Glad we're able to have a constructive conversation.
I would love to have a constructive conversation.
No division in this group at all.
Hulkster, I'm not trying to divide personally, but let me finish I raised my hand like a good boy. I pointing out negative behavior is not necessarily attack on the person and themselves and everything that they are and been. And if it sows a little division temporarily, who would like fake unity? That's all bullshit, and we just let everybody have bad behavior. I'm not interested in that personally. So again, guys, I I I believe part of you is sincere, and then when we were having that space earlier where you were ranting during the PP show and you had it going, you were calling him a little bitch, and you were not showing unity, you're not showing goodwill, and I just not interested in that kind of behavior. So you can come up here and talk in platitudes and tell us all these things that you're going to do that are awesome, and then you call him a little bitch, and you don't seem like you're the same guy that wants to come to the table and solve this. And so all I'm asking is for consistency, transparency, and we're good, man. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all you've done for the community. You've put yourself out there. You've done so much. But I'm not going to tolerate this kind of shit, personally. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, let me ask you something. Have you been following PP's tweet lately?
I read PP's tweet. Yes, it did.
Okay, since we came from Florida, did you go on his tweets? I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. Do you remember a tweet of a picture of a cartoon with two guys, or maybe one lady and one guy, and a knife? One, I think the lady has one knife in the back, and she said people will be stabbing or something like that in the back. Did you
I
see
I
that
I
tweet?
I don't, guys. I have a job
Okay.
and stuff to do, man.
Can you tomorrow, if you go on the PP show tomorrow, ask him what he refers or who he's referring to with that tweet and other tweets that he posted?
Okay, we're not here. We're not here. All I want, and this is what I desire. You don't have to do this. You could
Yeah,
decline. As I said, some statements about what I desire from behavior. You could just
yeah.
acknowledge that. Give me a thumbs
I
up. I
mean,
don't need to talk about stuff PP theoretically did or did.
yeah.
Like, it's
So
not.
so if he, I mean, I kept silent for a while. I mean, when did we come from Florida? And the guy keeps tweeting and posting stuff. I keep reading. Even Sal and others, they notice that. I mean, Sal, it's good to talk sometimes. Don't be a pussy. And then you've been watching. You've been reading what PP was tweeting, and I kept silent. And then it's I cannot. I mean, I'm a human being. I mean, if somebody is attacking you without even mentioning your name, and it's obvious who he's referring to, then at one moment you have to say that's it, enough.
Guys, I would say, and I'm not perfect at this personally, but I think it's more respectable to be the better person and try to show outstanding behavior as opposed to calling someone a bitch and playing into that, and playing into more fighting. If we actually are going to bring peace and resolve to the situation, if you and PP are, then that's what it's going to take. It's not going to take you talking about how PP is calling you a backstabber. Like,
Okay, what do you think about the video I recorded today? Was not a call for peace?
yeah, but your
What
actions,
what was
your
what was
actions,
his answer? I mean, I waited the whole day. What was his answer? What was his reply to it?
yeah, that's PP can respond in his own time, and I'm not here to defend anybody. But what
Yeah, I
what I
can
am
I can
saying
read it for you. I
is
mean, you don't have
I
he
I
doesn't have
I
to
I
answer.
saw it. I saw it, guys. What I will
Yeah.
say is, you posted that, and then 3 hours later, you were totally slandering PP. And you're great. You better be grateful it was
Why did I
It
do
wasn't
Hey
that?
recorded.
Why
Neon,
why did I
hey
do it?
Neon, you was calling for transparency a second ago. Why don't you ask your buddy Pee Pee to come up and be real crystal clear with us?
Yeah, no. It's
Yeah, no,
PP
no,
can if
no,
he
yeah,
wants
yeah,
to.
no, no, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, no.
I have a quick,
No,
I have a quick
it's just
question.
Kai. I asked for transparency when Kai's was asked some very
Well,
clear,
I'm
straightforward
I'm
questions from
I'm
Sal.
telling you, I recorded a video of a, I said, let's you're my brother, let's build together, give me a call. And then his answer was very clear. It was a big paragraph. He said, I have nothing to talk with you about. And then he has started attacking me. Okay, let me go through that tweet.
Uh,
He said, people said, by the way, let me remind you guys of something. Back on July 26, 23. PP, he DM'd me, he said, guys, I've been asking Bill Pulte to come on my show. It's been 70 days. And he said soon, but he never did. Can you please ask him to come to my show? I said, all right, let me try it. So I made like an invitation, and I said, Bill Pulte, we would like you to come to the PP show. Would you please be a VIP guest in the show tonight? 3 seconds later on, Bill Pulte said yes.
Wonderful.
PP, you listen.
Wonderful.
So PP was today in that reply, in that comment, he was trying to show that he's the guy who was inviting me always. He's the guy who was against everybody saying don't bring guys. PP, I was the one who brought to the PP show for the first time ever Bill Pulte. Do you remember that?
Kais,
It was
can I
July
say something?
26, 2023. Yes, go ahead.
Kais,
Yeah, thank you. Hang on one
sure.
second. I'm going to shut up after this and I'll drop. But I appreciate that, and I don't think anybody is saying that you haven't done anything or you haven't added a ton of value. That's not what's being said. I just think you're not answering the questions, and where you could have been transparent to bring a lot of like clarity to the community, you haven't been. And
No, you've
so
been
as long as
defending.
no, hang on. As
You've been
long as
defending. I've been telling you what the other side is saying and what the other
but I
side
don't
is
want
writing when I'm
I don't
doing
want to.
something good, and you keep defending. So
It's
you're
not.
taking one side.
It's not that, Kais. It's you can't just acknowledge what people are trying to say to you, and you want to flip it on PP. And we're just trying to
Why
ask
are you
questions.
attacking
It's
Kai?
not. It's not It's not attacking.
You are.
It's
You
it's
are,
okay.
but you're taking
I'm
one side.
skeptical.
You're not.
I am
I'm
skeptical of.
skeptical of you.
Okay, whatever, Bob. I don't care if you are. Like, I haven't done any. I don't think I've done anything
It's
besides actually talk to Kais and address his
Attacking.
unreasonable behavior. No, this is unreasonable behavior in
You're
my
No,
opinion.
attacking him.
what's unreasonable behavior
We've been
is
over this the
PP's
whole fucking
reply
space,
to.
man. I'm
I
not gonna
gave
Hey,
I
take
gave
a
a
breath. Your
branch.
PFP's turning red.
All right, Bob.
really appreciate the contributions, Bob. I love you, by the way, and I'm not
Yeah,
attacking Kais here.
you
Just
are.
being clear.
You
You
are.
might feel attacked, but that's not
You
what I'm
are.
doing here.
No, but I mean, you're not. I mean, I'm telling you. All right, let me ask.
All right, let's. I don't know. I don't. Maybe we're not going to get anywhere with this line of questioning. Maybe we'll go.
Squeezes. Let me.
Oh,
No, it's because I need an answer.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
can I talk next, please? For a second.
I think Sal had his hand up
Sure.
next.
Yeah, there's
Go ahead,
there's
Chris.
three before you. But
Okay, that's fine.
Can I talk? Can I talk?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so I was not looking, but who was speaking right now? Can you give me a judgment, or how do you think of PP's reply or comment on my video? Just as a normal person.
I'll take that one if I can go next. I have my hand
No,
up.
let him do it. Let him do it, please.
Well, we don't know who he is.
He knows who he is.
Go ahead, Neon.
Who do you want to talk to, Kais?
Yeah,
Monotonous?
I was
Neon.
talking with you, Kais. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was him. This guy.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Okay, so can you explain what did you get with people's comment to my video? How did you judge it?
I judged it, and I need to read it again. But PP did at the very end, if I recall correctly, that he did say he would be willing to make peace with you if you return the trademark to him, and then that'll be the start of reparations. And that wasn't on any kind of terms or anything. But again, I read it once. Don't quote me on this. I do. You have showed up on PP's show. It has been a platform where you've kind of been a character and added a lot of value to the show. But it is PP's show, and so I think that's what he was saying is, you've been on a show. He's not. I don't think he is discrediting you by any contributions or bringing Bill to the table or anything like that. I don't at all.
Look, ABC wanted to come up. Can anyone drop? We've got a couple of requests.
Yeah, I'll drop down.
All right, thank you. You know, I do believe we should pay him some respect. He is our elder. I just gave him an invite.
Easy with the old jokes.
Hey man, you came at me and you said I was young. I don't like that. That makes me feel immature.
That was just my laziness of not wanting to click your full name.
ABC, I love you, my brother.
I just have a quick
It's an
question for Kai's real quick.
Before I have my hand up. Actually, Sal had his hand up first. Sal, do you want to go or can I speak?
I'd rather let ABC and Kai's talk. I don't really care what anyone else has to say at the moment, and then I'll speak after.
I just want to say one quick thing then, because Kai, so I read that tweet, and the way I read it, right? So when I first started watching the PP show, probably about 8 months ago, and you were on the show, I was on the fence with you. Like, I was like, I like this guy, but I don't like this guy. He's kind of crazy. He's kind of out there. But you won me over. The chat was the same way. You could read the chat. They were for you, against you, for you, against you. And PP would always say, love him or hate him, I like Kais. Kais is a good guy. He would say that, right? So that's how I read that tweet was, look, I've always been loyal to you. I always liked you. He's also always said Kais was responsible for bringing Bill to the community. No one denies that. He said that. He's given you credit for that many times. You bring tremendous value to the community. No one wants to see mom and dad fight. Fix it. You two fix it. Whatever way you have to do it. Fix it on the back end. And, you know, make the community stronger. Now I'll stop talking.
Good evening, ABC. I love you, my brother.
Hey, guys. You know, I'll just jump in here. And, you know, it's a difficult situation, guys. You are one of a kind. There is nobody like you, my man. I gave you a tough time at the beginning when you first started showing up on the PP show. I would dodge out. I'd actually turn off the video, not because I wanted to be, you know, guilty by association, but you are a fighter. You are a frontliner. You dig deep. You are willing to put yourself out there, and I commend you for it. And, you know, that's why I think the community really appreciates you, because you do go the extra mile. You do stuff that a lot of people wouldn't do. So kudos to you. And PP, he's built something pretty spectacular. And you do have a trademark, and it's representation of his name. And trademarks are also kind of specific. They check out first use. And let me tell you, if you Google before PP started up, there was no use of the PP show out there. So in a sense, this is his brand. He copyrighted the name right off the bat by first publishing it. And so it is his brand and it's his business. And I would really appreciate if you were a gentleman and a scholar and just, you know, canceled the application or said, hey, PP, you know what? Friends be friends. I'm sorry. Let's just move on together, because there is a bigger thing here. And that's why I was trying to explain to both you guys, is that we are brand ambassadors to RC, Carl, Polte, and we have to hold ourselves to a certain level of being that brand ambassador. And sometimes egos can destroy people. And I'm not saying your ego's too big in this, my man, but nobody's going to pick sides, because we're all of a like-minded mindset that we see the bigger purpose here. I just encourage you to really reflect on it and make amends, and hopefully PP can accept it. And you know what, man? You're about to launch your own show, and you'll get a lot of support if you do the right thing, because people listen to you and they'll listen to PP. There's room for a lot more in this. It doesn't just have to be one show versus the other or create a divide. It's about spreading the message.
ABC, I love you so much. I respect every word you said. Actually, I always call you the word of wisdom, and I mean it a lot. Canceling the trademark right now, it's gonna make it difficult for the trademark to be registered again. As far as the timing, the trademark is still as an application. Anybody can go and look at it, and it's not even assigned to a lawyer from the USPTO to
I
look
get
at
it. I get it. I understand too. There's logistics. It's like, you know, a domain name and transfer. You just can't do certain things, right? So do me a favor. Do me a favor. Write a promissory note. Write it to PP. Hey, dude, this is an application. Once it becomes free and I'm able to transfer it, this one's coming your way. And then the community is going to go, shit, fucking Kai's is about the community. And again, I love you, brother. You do shit that I could not do, and I commend you. You are a fighter. You're on the front line. And you know, my respect to you and what you do. You do you, I'll do me. But I see no need for any drama. And really, there's a bigger purpose here, and we got to act and be like RC ourselves.
All right, I will do it. But can you guarantee one thing? One thing.
What's that?
That PP would never come against Pulte.
You know what, dude? I've chatted with PP a lot. He fucking loves Pulte. Okay? He does. Now, listen, he's upset right now, and he has every right to be, because there's a lot of shit going on. You know, he doesn't just get attacked from one side or the other. He's getting literally attacked from all angles, and it's a really tough position, and he's just trying to do the best. I haven't seen him cause any... Now, listen, I understand. You know, I was a little bit upset at you. Listen, guys, I was a little bit upset at you. I saw your banner change to PHM. And it's like, dude, I thought you were in the Bed Bath & Beyond community. But like Pulte says, we need to talk about more stocks and IEP and GME. And that's the situation, is that we have a whole basket of stocks that have been seller boxed to the ground. There is a bigger picture and a bigger mission, but not everybody's going to buy Toys R Us or PHM or GME. It's each individual investor's play. And we can't start judging by the size of their portfolios and what stocks they have. I mean, really, there's a bigger message here. It's about naked and synthetic shorts and market transparency. And I think sometimes we lose sight of that. And that's really my message, dude. I love you. I hear what you're saying, but let's just have a broader perspective on this. You know what I mean? As opposed to zeroing down into this bullshit.
Okay, sounds good. I will talk to Pulte tomorrow, and then have him prepare like something like an agreement, and we can have me and PP sign it, and then it's gonna be done. Sounds good?
That's awesome. I hope you guys work it out, and onwards and upwards, and just keep on doing what you do, guys.
Sure. Love you, ABC.
Why would Pulte have to sign off on that? Isn't that just between you two? Well, anyways, I hope you work it out.
Yeah.
Progress. Thanks, guys, for being open, man, and for, you know, I haven't been perfect about my feedback or anything like that, man, but we love you and appreciate you so much.
Love you guys.
Tal, what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to circle back to what I said at the beginning before Kais came up. And Kais is a very loyal person. His loyalty was with PP. They've obviously fallen out. I've had some talks with PPM. I've obviously spoken to you as well, Kais. I know that there's a lot of context that people probably don't need to know about that's going on behind the scenes. And I think that, you know, I don't like what you did yesterday. And I said that to you. I don't think holding a space at the same time and shitting on him is needed. And you spoke to me and you said you had your reasons for it. And I said, I understand, you're a loyal person and you felt like you'd done what you needed to do. And I can tell you guys right now, if Pulte was to piss off Kais, or if I was to piss off Kais, he would react the same way with anyone, not just PP. It's just Kais' nature. It's what makes him unique and it makes him what it is. And I did say to you, I think it's distasteful. I think you could have conducted yourself a bit better. And you were frustrated. You said you did try phoning him. He ignored you. You felt disrespected. And there was other stuff that was posted in other places. I understand that. But at the same time, like I said, there's a lot of context that people aren't aware of, that only you and PP are aware of, that you guys should resolve with each other. And I think it's good that you need to take the step to return the trademark to him, because you don't want to be seen as the guy that's extorting or blackmailing someone for their rights. And it's just not a good look, especially amongst a lot of people that respect you. I think they would lose respect for you for that. That's just my opinion. Obviously, you're free to do whatever you want. I would think that the basis of this space was the PHM contract. So if you could get a copy of that up as soon as you can, so everyone can see what they signed. I don't know if you have the emails and send it to them or whatever, but that was the main basis of this space, which is why I messaged you and I said perhaps you should come in and correct things, because a lot of people weren't aware and they were putting together pieces that they didn't have.
Well, Sarah, as far as the contract, I suggest next time when Jake to be is on the space, anybody can ask him to explain it, because Jake wrote the contract, so that's fine. I mean, if you guys know that Jake is a good guy, you can ask him about the contract. He's gonna be answering any question.
But do people
And
have copies of it, Kaz?
we can upload a copy for people. Yeah.
I think that's what people wanted mainly. A lot of people said they were drunk, they forgot what they signed, so they'd like to see what they signed.
Okay. Anything else?
Guys, I think that's awesome that you're gonna do that with the trademark. If people read that contract and decide that they want it to be voided, will agree to void the contract?
Yeah. Anything else? Or I can go to bed.
That's very respectable, guys. I know and appreciate it.
Can we just be really clear what? So ABC asked Kais to sign a promissory note with no stipulations, with no exceptions, that he would give the trademark to PP, and it sounded like he agreed to that, but I didn't actually specifically hear him agree to that. He agreed to do it with conditions. So I just wanted to get clarity from Kais on what you plan to do.
Okay, is it fair that the PP show will never come against the BBBYQ community and Bill Pulte? Is that fair? As
No.
a small request,
No.
in the agreement?
Do you
said
do
no?
you have?
Who said
Can I
no?
ask?
Who said no?
Guys,
I did.
you're
Various
not
read.
PP's father.
Okay, since you said no, okay, have a good night, guys.
How's that? You're holding it hostage, and you're asking, like, you're holding the leverage, and you're saying, yeah, I'll give up my leverage as long as it pays out how I
Look,
expected it to
man, you
pay out
just
in the
scared him
beginning.
out of here. Who are you?
Me, Various?
Yeah, are you a lawyer?
No, I'm not a lawyer.
Okay, then what's the point in creating division when
I'm
they're
not.
trying to figure things out?
I'm not ABC. I'm just saying it.
Who are
I
you?
made it. I'm just a guy.
Okay, just a guy. Neo Tokyo citizen. I guess I need to vet you, don't I?
I was the guy with the Dunny C PFP. I've been here for a long time.
Yeah, we all change pictures. We do a lot of weird shit, don't we?
Listen, ABC asked for one thing. Kai's made it appear as if he agreed to it, but he didn't.
Well, let them handle it, man. Just let them handle it. Like
Well,
he took the higher road. He listened to ABC.
No,
He agreed.
He made it sound like he did.
I mean, if you're not his lawyer, what's the fucking point, dude?
Because it's misconception. It's misdirection.
What's misconception? What is? We'll all see what happens in the end, won't we?
Well, maybe I'll ask ABC if he's happy with the answer to what he asked. I don't know why you're getting upset with me just for asking clarity on what Kai's
because you scared him out with your tone.
Well, because I called out that he was.
You were acting like a lawyer, and I'm just a bystander watching.
I haven't been to a day of law school in my life.
You're the Dunny C guy? Yeah, that's fucking weird. But anyways, way to go, dude.
I'm a Facebook lawyer.
Well, I'm confused. I thought I heard him say he was gonna write that promissory note, and then
he said he would do that, but he would ask PP to never change or whatever again.
The real question is, why is he so terrified that something's going to go against PP and the BBBY community?
The Kais can't help but assert a level of control over other people, even when there's a sense of reciprocal engagement going on. And I bet, regardless of what sort of stipulation Kais would have had for PP, he, like PP probably understandably was like offended by it, and like he hasn't engaged with the community in any way that has undermined his credibility or trust. But then Kais is coming in and saying, yeah, I will do this with you now, but I'm going to add this additional layer of criteria just in case I can't trust you in the future. It's like, dude,
It's like the bully that steals
you're not my
your
fucking
lunch
dad.
money. It's like, okay, I'll give it back to you if you do X, Y, Z. Like,
hold on. I don't know who either of you two are. So, what I heard is Kais clearly stated he was going to take the high road. He was going to write the promissory note, and that's awesome because PP requested that he gets the trademark. I assume a promissory note would work, and that would be that would be the start to mending the bridge.
Right,
and then we can all fucking move on. This wasn't our drama to begin with. This is let them hash it out.
Sure.
Kais clearly said he's going to transfer the promissory note,
he
and
did say that.
yeah, he did. And then you asked him a question to repeat it, and he said, "I just want to know that PP is going to never go against Pulte or the community."
That's his stipulation.
He didn't say it was stipulation.
That's not. You're making it sound like that's something very terrible. It's just weird. He's trying to be the high road and fix the issue.
Yeah, just let it happen. If it transfers, it transfers, and then we'll know.
Right.
All right. So just let it lie.
Actions speak louder than words.
You're poking a wound that Kais just tried to close, and I
don't believe
think
he did. Kais believes more about public perception, so he made it appear that he was agreeing.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna see what his actions do, right?
True. Yeah.
So who cares? Who cares what you think?
Well, I care about
if he transfers it. I don't. If he transfers it, great. Then we'll know. That's what's going to happen, right? So let this lie is my request. But you do whatever you want, I guess.
Squeeze the same way that
what he actually said was, let me interrupt real quick. I'll let me mute my TV. What he actually said, he was going to have Pulte draw it up. And I do trust in Bill, and I do think Bill is a uniter, and he wants to unite us. So I think that Bill will make it happen once they speak. So let him close the loop, and I think we're just beating a dead horse at this point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just quit poking at the wound. Kais said he was going to do it. I don't think that, let's see what happens. I trust Kais that he's going to do it. He said he would. So if he doesn't, then we'll know.
Totally agree with you. I think what we were trying to do, not necessarily even me, I just asked one question at the end, but was that like you have to go into a granular level of detail with Kais and redirect him to get just a very specific sort of simple sentence. Concrete.
No, you're speaking about him like he's a 4-year-old.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
it's necessary.
I'm speaking about him in terms of the way he's always responding. I mean, he was weirdly threatening you and talking about how he'd potentially be the CEO one day. Like, I'm not speaking about it.
That's fine. I don't think he means it.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I
think people get heated, and it's fine. I think he made a statement that he was gonna write that promissory note, and I heard it. I think everybody else heard it, and so let him put his money where his mouth is,
but why,
so to speak.
I agree. The only thing
who cares what else he says after that? If he doesn't do it, then you'll know, and if he does, then you'll know, and it's as simple as that. As far as I don't see why poking. Like he clearly made a big concession in his mind, I think, based off of wherever he's coming from, and when we don't know the background, and so he said he's going to transfer via promissory note.
But
let it happen. If it happens, it happens.
He's always inserting an additional layer of complexity. Like, why did he have to insert?
There doesn't need to be a complexity layer for you to worry about, because if he transfers it, it'll be transferred, and if he doesn't, you'll know it wasn't transferred, and then the judgment's really easy to make. It happens or it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're totally right.
So yes, I know.
I agree.
So at this point, anybody else that's going to continue to poke at that wound is unless enough time goes by. Unless enough time goes by where this should have been transferred, then maybe some questions arise. But in the meantime, anything else is just poking at the wound that Kais has stood up and tried to close. It's just my opinion, but I don't see what.
Why were you viewing Kais through the lens?
And move on.
But why are we?
What?
I agree, but let's just take a step back. We shouldn't be viewing Kais as a victim that has experienced a wound. I don't think that's.
Take 2 steps back. We shouldn't be viewing Kais as a bad guy.
I think he's a
That's a
complicated
little suspect.
character that brings
It's a
value.
little
Bob
suspect.
on these nuts.
No one said anybody was a victim.
No, but I'm just saying.
Bob on these nuts.
Squeeze this. When he said he has a wound, I reasonably infer
No.
that
I'm using it as an example. As
okay, my bad.
if you're still gonna be poking at whatever you want to call it.
No.
There's no
He ain't
purpose in
ever
it.
poked nothing. I can hear it in his voice.
Squeeze this. I'm just inferring something different than you. It's a difference of opinion. I'm not trying to twist it.
Why don't you take it up with them then? Okay, so we don't have to deal with it in the space anymore.
You better let
Sal
your
wants to
nuts
come.
drop before you take anything up with anybody.
Fair enough.
I didn't say it.
Get them rubber bands off your balls, boy, and speak from the
dude, I'm getting
chest.
a headache from it, man. You know, like enough's enough. Let's drop it.
Speak
Yeah,
from the fucking
100%.
chest.
100%. Move on. Let's talk about who Bob and Frank had in the trunk today.
Fuck, we ain't talking about that either.
Exactly. We don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Deny everything, Bob. Good idea.
Bob, what kind of pizza did you have today?
Cold pizza, right when that bitch woke up. Next question.
Did Frank record it?
Frank don't report shit. He don't wear that uniform and he don't play on that fucking team.
He said record.
Record. We're
Video
talking about
Yeah, he
record.
don't
sex
record
tape.
nothing. He ain't Jeffrey Epstein.
Stick to the script, Bob. You fucking ruined my joke.
That would be a pretty funny honeypot.
That was
right?
good though.
Bob, are you on the Epstein logs?
Fuck no, Bob ain't never been to no island. I don't leave the country.